Welcome in, fam. This is A2D Wednesday nights. Will the Eagles go 5-0? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come find out. Let's go.
Let's go. This ain't the fuck night. Oh, this game he stinks.
Oh shit!
It's gone.
Nights only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D. Get you $50. All right, you walk in with $50. Download FanUp right on the Apple Store. Go check them out. I love it. It's so interactive. So listen, go use $50 and see where it takes you. As always, Frank Vespi, Greg Milakovic, Ralph Del Vecchio, Ryan Brodo, Michael Chromiak, Noe Eaton, they may be with us. Who knows? I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. We'll do locks of the week like we do at the end of every show on Wednesday nights. We'll give you our updated records, NFL Week 5 predictions. We go through the whole slate of games and give you it all there on the national side of things. But our main topic at hand, like it is on Wednesdays, is Eagles preview, and it'll be Eagles Cardinals preview. Ties into our poll question brought to you by Manscaped, and you get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Our poll question for tonight: the Philadelphia Eagles will improve to 5-0 after a win over the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And more importantly, comment in. Let us know where you're tuning in from. How excited are you for Sunday? And not only Sunday, listen, it's Red October too. So Phillies is always on the docket to talk a little Phillies and postseason baseball. You know, a 3-game piece coming up against the Cardinals. You know, can we take two? Take two in advance. We'll talk a little Phillies because that's big. It's been 11 years and, you know, we'd be jerk-offs to leave it out. And we're big baseball junkies. But this is a football town. Even though I get in arguments with it, it's a football town. It's not a soccer town, just to confirm that with the people out there. So with the Eagles improved to 5-0 after a win over the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday, agree or disagree? This is a tough one, guys, because we're better than the Cardinals are, right? And there's a couple factors, right? You got to travel out. You got to travel out west. That's like never easy. Hasn't been good for us recently, so I don't love that side of it. And you're playing against a guy who can make a lot of plays on his own. And that's sort of what he wants to do too, right? So that's a little bit concerning, but their defense stinks. All right, I'm not concerned about Arizona's defense at all. I feel like it's a team we can go up and down the field on. We've proven over the first 4 weeks that we'll go up and down the field on everybody. So I don't see that changing. You could be in a little bit of a shootout here maybe. I don't like Avonte Maddox. Still doesn't look like he's going to play this week. He didn't practice today. So don't love that. Slay was a full participant, so that's good news in terms of that side of it. Our defense has made plays all year. I think they will. I just think this is a close one. This is a toss-up just because of the factors of like, are you really going to go 5-0? Like it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard in this league. But guess what? You know, everybody sort of bet against this team coming into the year just on their quarterback and some other things, right? Not everybody, but there was people that bet against them for sure. And definitely bet against Jalen Hurts. All right, maybe they didn't bet against the football team on a roster side of things, but they definitely bet against Jalen Hurts coming in. And he's done nothing but prove people wrong. This football team has shown that what's on paper is converting to what's on the football field. Now, I'm just not in love with Arizona at all. The only thing that scares you, West Coast, like I said, Kyler Murray can make plays, right? So are you able to contain him? Are you able to take the football away? Which we've done a great job of doing so far this year. And, you know, the bigger side is their defense doesn't take the football away well, right? They don't get after the quarterback well. So can you protect Hurts And I think it's another game where, hey, are you going to get over 28 again? And I think it's a football game you definitely can. So now on the defensive side, can you contain their best player, which is their quarterback, Kyler Murray? That's probably the biggest question mark of the week. We got a really good front, but he's also good. I don't love Kyler Murray. I'd rather have Hurts over Kyler Murray, to be completely honest with you guys. But he is a playmaker. So I got to give him credit where credit's due in terms of that. But he's a little guy, man. So if you can keep him in the pocket, you're talking about batted down balls, you're talking about bad throws, bad reads, and that takes the football away. So listen, I'm excited for another Prove Me week because we keep adding them on, right? Not prove me that we don't think you're really good, but like prove to me that you're even better than we think you guys are, right? And every week you go out there and you take care of business and you beat teams in all kinds of different fashions and forms. How is everybody out there not a believer? So, people will disagree with the poll just because that's the way it is. But if I'm leading off an Eagles show, I feel like I have to agree that they'll go 5-0, right? I feel like I'm doing our Eagles Nation an injustice, and I'm doing A2D an injustice by not trying to come in early with some positivity, right? Because it should be positive. We're a damn good football team, and I think we go prove it again Sunday. And a tough place to play and out on the West Coast and against a playmaking quarterback. I think we do enough to find a way to win a football game again. Last concern, and then go ahead, guys, is just the health of Jake Elliott. Like, it doesn't look like he's going to be playing Sunday as of right now. And then we got Dicker in. So, I don't know how much I trust the Dick, but some people out there do. So, to each your own. But
I believe in Dicker the kicker. So
yeah, I'm not going to go getting a sign for that one. I'll sit that out.
I think he came from Clemson. Is that where he came from?
Yeah, I don't really care where he came from. I don't
No,
love
I just
it.
remember the name, or maybe he's Texas. I think
Was he 34? Greg, is he 34?
Yeah, he's 75.
Yeah. All right, boys.
I thought he was 26.
That's a concern if you're in a field goal game, which you could be in this week, right? That's absolutely a big concern. So I'll agree. I think they go 5-0.
Go ahead, Ralph.
Right, Ralph.
I agree to the poll as well. I just think this Eagles team right now is just flying, man. It's just flying. The offense is clicking. It seems like no defense so far has solved us so far in the sense of, AJ's been getting open and Dallas has been, doing so well. Obviously, Devontae had somewhat of an off game last week. I guess you could just blame the weather on that as well. But so far, the offense has been clicking. And the defense last week was kind of iffy, right? A little slow start, but when we needed them big time in the in the clutch, and when it got down to 5 minutes up in the fourth quarter, they really hung in for us and got us the W. But I think the Phillies, not the Phillies, I think the Eagles go to Arizona, and I think we come out with the W and go 5-0, man. And then we're flying.
The Phillies can go to St. Louis and come out with the dub too.
Yeah.
Let's go, Ralph.
Very true.
I guess I'll go. I mean, if you asked me back in August, I probably would have disagreed to the poll. But, going with what history has told us, whenever we go to Arizona, we don't come out with a win. Since their new stadium opened up in 2006, we've gone 0-3, excluding the playoffs. However, Cardinals don't have D-Hop for another week. You don't know about the status of Hollywood Brown. He's on the injury report. So if Hollywood Brown's out, all you got to rely is on an AJ Green and a bunch of what's-a-who's-its. Mm-hmm. But I'm really confident. Yeah, thingamajigs, what's-a-who's-its, what is it? I don't know. But, I do like where the Cardinals defense is right now. It's not looking good because they are bad at home. Despite being the 8th best defense, averaging 87 yards allowed rushing, they only allow 114 yards at home. Pass defense, almost 300 yards. So I think we might have ourselves a field day here in Arizona. So I will agree to the poll. We go up to 5-0.
Greg?
Yeah, it's an interesting game because it's got the makings of a trap game, right? You're going on the road. You are the better team, and then you have a hated division rival, coming, the next week. Probably getting their quarterback back as well. or some people might say their quarterback is already there, is currently playing. Who knows? But I agree with everything you guys have said. The only thing that scares me is throughout the first part of the season, we played traditionally, pocket quarterbacks for the most part, right? They've been statues. We're going to play a quarterback that can move like we do. The benefit that we have is we go up against him every week, right? Our defense goes up against a Kyler Murray type of guy every week in Jalen Hurts. So I'm going to agree to the poll. I think it has the makings of a trap game. I think the Cardinals might cover the 5.5, but I think we ultimately get out with a win, even though we have struggled there. I just think the defense is playing too well to let down on a road, right? You know what I mean? Like, defense is usually what travels for you, especially in tough games, and they're playing too well right now. They're up in their, they're just up in everything right now. I mean, takeaways is up, sacks are up, everything. They're playing at a high level, and I think that part continues. So I will agree to the poll, even though it could get dicey at times.
Okay, Rod, before you go real quick, I just want everybody out there to know, make sure you guys comment in your score prediction and offensive defensive player of the game. And this week it can win you $100. You nail it. We're up to a honey cut. So make sure you're commenting. Let us know. We'll read them off.
I never like when we all agree on something. It just doesn't feel right. And especially here in Philadelphia, it doesn't lead to good things. But
This fucking guy.
me?
No, fucking the dude on the bottom of the screen. Whoever to bring in.
Oh
What?
yeah,
Dickhead.
yeah. He can wait. I don't even want to know what's on there. Listen, we're kind of banged up. Jordan Mailata doesn't look like he's going to play. What the hell is this below me?
God.
I'm going to act like I don't see you down there. I'm just going to look up. I'm not even going to look.
Why do you have to be that fraudulent?
Because
There's nothing fraudulent about it.
There is, though. There's like a look at me.
There's
Nolan
literally
Arenado
nothing
towel.
fraudulent about it.
That's why he was
Bro.
late. That's why he was
Bro.
late. He had to get all of his friggin' his.
You're at a
costumes ready to
museum. Real quick, you're in a museum in St. Louis. I can't get upset tonight, okay? I got to be calm. But you literally come on here like you're in a goddamn museum in St. Louis for the Cardinals. I mean, is this real life? I hope we freaking take the first two. I hope we take the first two. Have a great night.
Did you wipe your undercarriage with your Nolan Arenado towel?
Hey, you want to come and sniff it and find out?
I hope not.
I don't even want to
Ryan,
look.
continue.
I don't even want to look at him right now. Like I honestly just want the screen to go black, and it
It's gonna be
might.
a real fun night.
Oh yeah. Define fun, and then I might disagree with you. We're banged up. Maddox probably not going to play. Mailata probably not going to play. Isaac and Slay, it looks like he's going to. They're both at least on projection to play. So that's a worry, right? I do think, even though like we've had people in the chat for the last seems like 3 weeks call games trap games, I think this is the first time that you can define this coming game as a trap game. Because the Cardinals, at least eye test wise, I know they're 2-2, so the record doesn't say that they're bad, but just watching them, they're not very good. And you have a big time division opponent with or without their number one quarterback, like Greg said, doesn't really matter. It's Dallas. I would feel much more concerned about our chances. No disrespect, if it wasn't the Arizona Cardinals. Like, they don't have DeAndre Hopkins. We've seen just in last year's sample size that when Kyler Murray doesn't have DeAndre Hopkins, he's not the same quarterback. And it's understandable. DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best wide receivers in the game. They can't run the football. James Conner's been banged up and he's been ineffective. You have, what is it, Rondell Moore? Because Elijah Moore, I think, is on the Jets.
Yeah.
He's okay. Like Frank said, Marquise Brown might not even be available. AJ Green's 50. Honestly, the biggest concern I have as far as a weapon we have to stop is old friend Zach Ertz. Because I just know because he's been on my fantasy team, like he's had a solid handful of weeks to start the season. But there's something glaring that stands out to me, and that's Kyler Murray. He's averaging 43 pass attempts per game. That's on pace to break the all-time NFL record for pass attempts in the season. And you would think, oh, okay, well, if he's throwing the ball a lot, he must have a lot of passing yards. He's throwing the ball all that much, and he's only 15th in passing yards. So he's throwing it, but nothing's really happening when he throws the ball. like I said, they can't run the football in every game so far. And I hear people say all the time, "Oh, Ryan, it's only 4 weeks." Sure, but that's also a fourth of the friggin' season. So, like, it's something. It's not after 2 weeks we're talking about. Every game so far, they have been trailing at halftime, which we know for us, when we have been able to get out to a lead, especially it's helped us when we haven't been able to put up too many points in the second half. Once we get out to that lead, our defense kind of settles in and it sustains it. So it trends to saying, okay, if we do what we've done the first 4 weeks, their defense is going to help us do exactly what we've done the first 4 weeks, and that's get out to a lead at halftime. And to me, the only way of them winning, like you talk about the Eagles, oh, you can win by running the ball, Jalen Hurts throwing the ball, A.J. Brown being great, Devontae being great. Their way of winning in Arizona is Kyler Murray running around in a circle for 30 seconds and then throwing it to somebody wide open. I feel like that's going to have to happen for them to even have a legitimate chance to win in the fourth quarter. I feel really good about this game, to be honest. And again, that's worrisome because we've all agreed to this poll. But I think if you were facing a lot of other teams, I would be more concerned. But I just am not impressed at all about this Cardinals team we're going to face on Sunday.
Yeah, real quick about the trap game. Like I don't buy in the trap games this early on in the year. And I really don't buy into too much trap stuff in the NFL just because it is a 1 game a week league, right? Where like basketball, you run in the traps all the time. Baseball, you run in the traps all the time. Hockey, you run in the traps. I'm sure in the soccer world, for people that actually give a rat's ass, you run in the traps there too. But in football, it's weird because I think it's more of an ebb and flow than a trap because the trap ones are like you go play an 0-6 team, 0-7 team, and they stink. Like when you're watching tape of Kyler Murray, he's a playmaker. So defensively, like, hey, I gotta come to play to contain this guy. You're not going in against the bad news Bears, even though the Cardinals aren't great, right? They're still a decent NFL team, and they're a team that started out last year scorching hot, right? So they can beat anybody too. So I don't really look into the trap. Not everybody said trap. Like I don't even though Dallas is up next week. I get it. It's still early in the year too, where like the traps really don't happen. And the other reason I don't think it's a trap is you're going to play in perfect conditions. And I think after you play a game where you just played in the slop, I think offensively, I think you score a lot of points after something like that, just because everything goes smoother. And the biggest key is if Arizona doesn't take the football away from us, they're not winning this football game. So the way we lose this football game is on the turnover side of things. Even if we don't take the ball over and they don't take the ball over, we win. So as long as it's not 1-0 them, 2-0 them, 3-1 them, God forbid, right? I don't see how we lose a football game. That's how I feel like this week's a loss is if you come in and you're sloppy. If you're sloppy offensively and you're turning it over early and you let them get a lead on you, I think you're going to have some trouble. But I don't think that happens. Jalen's too good with the football. At least he's been, right? So go ahead, Nolan Arenado.
Hey, thanks for inviting me to the show, by the way.
Yeah, appreciate having you.
Hey, no, I mean, I agree to the poll. I think that I'm with Ryan in that this might be the game I feel the best coming into as far as the way this team is playing. And I think one of the big things too to look at is, when we're talking about Kyler's going to have to put a lot on his shoulders. You're looking at the acquisitions, the guys that we went out and got this offseason. Bradbury, Hassan Reddick, just now starting to find their footing and get better and better and better. And I think that trend's going to continue where our defensive playmakers are going to continue to make plays. They're going to create situations where Kyler's going to have to get out. Kyler's going to have to make quick decisions. And I think he's going to end up taking a lot of the load on his shoulders. I mean, put it very simply, this team is rolling right now, guys. And I don't believe in the whole trap thing yet either. I think when you start getting week 7, week 8, week 9, then maybe you start looking at that. But there's nothing that this team has done on our end that has led me to believe that the momentum on all ends of the football, all aspects, special teams, offense, defense, that leads me to believe that Kyler Murray, who's shorthanded with weapons right now, is going to be the X factor that's going to crack the code.
And
It's that simple. I mean, so No, I agree with the poll. I think that the Eagles roll to 5.
Yeah, the big X factor, like you said, it's either, and like everybody said, right? It's Kyler Murray, and turn the football over. I mean, that's how you go lose a game in Arizona. You come out sloppy, you cough the football up, right? And you allow him to make plays, which he's obviously capable of doing. So, I mean, I'm never going to question him being a playmaker, right? I'll question him at the quarterback position at times, right? But I'll never question his playmaking abilities and the big play threats, like sort of Ryan was talking about, to him running around. Next thing you know, somebody's wide open, and then you got a quick 6. So that's the thing that I won't take away from him, and that's a concern of mine. But if I'm really, you're putting a gun to my head and making me concerned about something, it's a turnover side of stuff, because we've really done a really good job of taking care of the football, and I feel like that week is coming, right? Just because of the ebb and flow of football. Like the week where they don't take the football away well in Arizona and we don't turn the football over, right? This is the week where, we turn it over 3 times. We look like a shell of ourselves offensively. The city of Philadelphia is crumbling around because everybody's panicking that we're not good anymore, right? Blah, 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 blah. That's the only way we lose this football game. And with all that being said, I feel like there's way too much leadership in this locker room. I feel like there's way too much eye on a prize. There's way too much that nobody believes in me, right? And it starts with your quarterback. And I think with that going on, that means there ain't no let-up games. There ain't no let-down games. You might go lose to a football team just because that's the NFL. But I believe we come and play. And I know we're going to go over score predictions and offensive defensive player of the game and, some other keys to victory as well. So make sure you guys are commenting in. Remember, score of the game, offensive defensive player of the games, they are your tiebreakers. Chance to win $100, right? Easy to do.
Looking at our team too, Tom, real quick is
go ahead.
I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I actually believe the Eagles defense leads the league in turnovers right now, creating turnovers. If they're not one, they're two.
I know we're leading in sacks.
I think we're right up there.
If I heard correctly yesterday, I believe that I heard that they're number 1 in creating turnovers. Either way, they're up top.
Yeah.
And in that turnover game that you're talking about, even if there's a little bit of a letdown.
Yep, that is correct.
Okay, so
leading in turnover differential,
this
plus
is
8.
This is a team and a defense that I'm confident enough in that they can then turn that momentum right back around on the other end of the football, and whether it's a 3 and out, get to the quarterback, or create another turnover. I don't feel like, as opposed to in years past, turnovers are necessarily an absolute killer for this team because of how well this defense has played and has continued to create and make plays.
So Arizona's only taken the football away 4 times.
I think we're 9.
So in 4 games, they've taken it away an average of 1 a game.
How I was going to say, Tom, if you have it in front of you, how many of it was last week against the Panthers?
I don't. I can go look that up. I don't have it in front of me, but I know their opponent. Just why I'm there. They've turned the football over 12 times. So in 4 games, they turned the football over 12 times, and they've only taken it away 4. They're actually lucky to be 2-2. So in reality, they're probably better. They're probably better than the record says they are in a weird way if they don't turn the football over, right? But everything leads and everything circles you to the trend here, and the trend is we take the football away like nobody's business, which is great to say here. I mean, that's been a while.
It's been a while, right? How many times have we asked for that?
Yeah, and we're not a team that really coughs it up a lot. We're just not. We might have 1 a game, you know what I mean, which is below league average. In reality, I mean, I'm going to look up how many I'm going to look that up right now while I'm in here. Right. If you want to find out if that was last week or not, I'm not sure. So our turnover ratio is 8 to 9. That's weird.
Let me see here.
Is that real?
8 to 9, you said?
8 to 9.
No way.
Our margin is 8. It's plus 8.
Oh, maybe that's what that means.
The differential is plus 8, yeah. And
but then how would the opponent be 9?
The opponent? I don't know.
Because we haven't fumbled in. We've only had, 2 interceptions?
2 interceptions, that's it.
Yeah, I'm confused by this. But I think maybe they mean plus 8. This is just the ESPN one at the bottom. You go to your team. You know what I mean? So somebody Listen, somebody hit the wrong button. This is why I don't go to this stuff. This is why I don't do it. I don't do it. Try to get cute. I'm gonna say we take the football away. We probably turn it over once. That's what we do. But I still think we're in that 30 range again, guys. I think we're that good of an offense. It's hard to not put him up there. Like it feels like it's Madden in a way, like Madden on easy. Like I feel like I got to at least put up 30. So I'm gonna go 31. See, I don't know if they cover this football game. 31-27.
What's the spread on this game?
5.5.
5.5.
27.
By the way, Tom, to answer your question, or I guess it was my own question, the Baker Mayfield fumbled it once, fumble for loss, and he turned the ball over twice via interception. So that was three. That's three of their interceptions. Or I'm sorry, three of their turnovers by the Cardinals just last week alone.
So maybe like the Eagles thing. Maybe it's +4, right? Like maybe they're a +4. I don't know, but still not a great ratio, but better than I think it is. Who knows? Their defense is average at best.
Ralphie, score.
Buda Baker stinks, I think.
Buda, it's a great name.
Great name. He's like 5'2". Enough of him.
I'm going to go Eagles 28, Cardinals 24. 28-24.
Okay.
I am going to go, but first, Sam Malone, I actually got this hat for free.
Here we go.
My score is going to be 36.
I know a guy.
Look at me.
I know a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy. Heard it from a friend who'd heard it from a friend who.
Give us the damn score.
Oh,
It's
36 to what?
36-13 in favor of the Eagles.
Holy
wow,
shit.
Jesus God.
36-13.
Mm-hmm.
Noah, is that you?
No,
Yeah.
this is Patrick.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Okay.
That's
Chrome
Interesting.
or Greg?
I'm right
Sorry,
there with you,
Greg.
Frank. I'm right there with you. I got 34-17 Birds.
Jesus. Okay, Greg.
It was fun while it lasted, boys. We could have went 5-0, but it is what it is, you know.
Greg, I'm gonna need you to pick a loss. I'm gonna need you to change things up. Come on.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to disagree to the poll.
Thank you.
Go back to the Greg of previous years. It's tough, because I actually, I'm almost going back on what I said earlier, thinking the Cardinals cover, because some of you guys made some really good points about the injuries and stuff like that. I'm going 28-21.
I will go
Eagles,
30.
of course.
I will go 31-21 Eagles, of course.
Okay, so me and Ralphie have it close, and everybody else has it covered, has the Eagles covered. I do this every week. I pick a close one, just because I feel, and so I'm going to stay consistent with staying on the side of erring on the side of caution. It's played well through 4 games.
To Isaiah's point, he says AJ Brown is feasting on that defense. One quick note here, and I don't want to jump Tom and start with the offensive player of the game, but I'll
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll just jump in and say AJ Brown's my offensive player of the game because I'm going to list you the height and weight of all of their cornerbacks and safeties.
Oh my.
And we're talking in a dome. I don't know what's stopping AJ Brown. I don't. Byron Murphy, 5'11", 190. Markel Wilson, 5'11", 187. Jace Whitaker, 5'11", 185. Buda Baker, 5'10", 195. Jalen Thompson, 5'11", 190. AJ Brown is bigger than all of those people. Give me AJ Brown, please.
Yeah, you're going to go AJ, and I'm going to go to the guy on the other side of him. I'm going to go Devontae. I think he has a monster game too. They both could have monster games, by the way. But I think they're obviously going to try to roll coverage and try to slow AJ down, you would think, especially from everything you just mentioned. So I'll play that side of it and go, okay, the other guy's going to get a lot of one-on-one against guys that you never heard of, and he's going to eat on Sunday. So I'll go to Devontae as my offensive player of the game. I think he has, let's say Devontae has 2 tutties. 2 tutties for Gold Jacket.
Guess I should start him in fantasy this week.
Yeah, I won't on purpose. If I do, he won't.
It'll be good to get him indoors after his. Anyone else watch that mic'd up thing that came out this morning of him in the rain?
That was
pretty
great.
funny.
that was hilarious. He was not enjoying himself on Sunday.
For me, offensive player game, I'm gonna ride with him. I ride with him last week. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna go Miles Sanders. Had a pretty good game last week.
Yeah, Ralphie, I busted your chops about that last week. You picked a good one on that one.
I'll go Miles Sanders again.
Yeah, busted my chops too. I heard you, bastards.
Well, you didn't show up, so I'm not even.
I was kind of in a rain delay.
Yeah,
I gave Miles a ton of credit on Sunday.
Yeah, he did great.
On Sunday night after the show, I thought he did a better job of getting upfield and using his explosiveness to go north and south a little bit more. And I think when he does that and he holds on to the football, we already know he's a weapon for us. Nobody's ever going to debate Miles Sanders being a weapon, and people will debate is his health, all right, because that's always been a concern. Putting the football on the ground was a concern, and getting upfield was a concern. Never about explosiveness, never about the ability to make plays, because we've seen the ability to make plays. It's the other stuff. What we noticed through 4 games this year, that other stuff has sort of gone away. I don't want to say that door's closed, but the stuff's being put in the door, right? In terms of health, okay, even though he's banged up in training camp, I get that. In terms of putting the football on the ground, which will probably cough it up twice now since we said this week, and his ability to put his foot in the goddamn ground, right, and go get to the second level and go get to that third level, because that's where you're going to be most dangerous, is in that third level anyway. I thought he's been tremendous. He deserves a lot of credit, okay? But we're 4 games in, and this ain't a goddamn crown party either, right? It's been tremendous, man. But we got more football to play too. I ain't putting guys in Canton yet. Johnny, appreciate the super chat, brother. He said a prediction around the room, what Howie does before the deadline at the end of the month. Name a position and a possible player. Are we doing this?
It's too early. Too early.
Trades?
Are we doing a trade?
No.
I didn't do it.
I'm not talking about trades.
I didn't do it.
Not yet.
I don't know.
Not yet.
John, can you super chat that again in like a,
Yeah, a couple weeks.
Cordero Patterson, John. Here, I'll give you one. Cordero Patterson.
Well, I mean, real quick, before this past week, I would have said running back.
I would have said running back as well.
Before this week, or this past week.
I got a better one. I got a better one for you. And I've said no to this guy for years.
Oh, I know you do.
But I would absolutely go get Odell if I could get him.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Stop this. Stop it. Time's yours. And there's not a lot of pressure on him, too, because, all these guys, him, AJ.
Right? You don't have to.
Yeah, him, AJ, and Devontae can all go in or out. It doesn't matter, right? They can go inside, they can go outside, they can be moved all around the football field. So you're and you want to talk about giving your quarterback really give him weapon. Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, here's the keys of the castle. I mean, it's up to you if you want to keep the castle standing up. But Johnny, to answer that question, I mean, that's a name that intrigues me. And in years past, it didn't. But once a guy wins, no matter, I get it. It's a big roster. It's not just him. But once you're considered a winner to me, some of the extra stuff sort of goes out the window too. And as you get older, right? He's older, he's more mature, and he just was a winner. So when you do that, it's only right for me to say, hey, maybe some of the extra stuff that looked like the perception, maybe it really wasn't that bad, right? And you can sort of give a guy a mulligan on whatever little, the shit he was eating or whatever he was doing, you give him
I'm forgiven for hookers, pizza, and cocaine. Let's go.
Yeah, it's a forgivable offense.
I think there's a little bit more than cocaine.
Greg, we're here just to agree.
I hear you.
I guess I'll go for my player of the game, I guess.
That's a good transition.
Yeah, let's talk about hookers and cocaine. Let's talk about our players of the game. I know one player who hasn't had his fair share of hookers and cocaine. I'm going to go with Fast Batman as my player of the game, Quez Watkins. I think this will be his breakout game this season. We know we had the AJ Brown game, we had the Devontae Smith game. I think we're going to see a Quez game against Arizona. So I'm going to go number 16.
You know what's beautiful about that? And this is no shot at him. This is a testament to how good this offense has been. There have been times I've forgotten Quez Watkins even exists. And that's not a bad thing. But it's like, to Frank's point, okay, we've seen the A.J. Brown game. I mean, every game's been a freaking A.J. Brown game. He's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
Devontae's been incredible. Last week was obviously mild because it was a monsoon. We haven't even freaking needed Quez or Pascal to that matter.
Yeah.
And you look in past, years, it's kind of like, oh my God, we would need a Quez or a Pascal to really, play up to speed because we never had a true number one receiver. Now we have two, and then Dallas Goddard still exists. It's been amazing.
That's a good name. I don't know if he's on the block or not. I would assume he is.
Depends on where they are.
Yeah.
As far as wins.
Offensive player of the game, I will go Dallas Goddard. I think he might have a tough matchup, though, with Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons is a freak of nature athletically, so I think he could cover him.
How much will Isaiah be spying instead of covering?
That's another good point, though. No, you're absolutely right. That's another good point. Whether they're going to have him guard Goddard or spy. That's great. But I'll go Dallas. I think he gets in the end zone for the game.
I'm going top 3 MVP candidate as of today. On pace for 4,700 yards. He's going to throw for 3 tutties, rush for 1.
Albert Pujols.
Albert.
The machine.
It's got to be, for me, it's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
He's the X factor. He's the absolute X factor. And I think this is a game he could have a field day as a passer. I think that's going to open it up for him to be able to break off a couple big runs. He might run for 60, 70 yards and still throw for 300 in this game. So I'm going Jalen Hurts all day in this game.
Carmen, there's nothing wrong with what you said. It's spot on. I haven't taken him this year, so I steer away from him on purpose. And to him, it's like my good luck charm to him. He's been flat out tremendous. There's no reason why you're not going to continue to see growth this year as the season goes on too. And man, for the first time in a while, besides like a year and a half, right? We had like a year and change. But for the first time in a while, like I can sit back and say, you know what? I got my franchise quarterback.
Yep.
And he might not look as good as yours at times. He might not be able to do some of the things that your guy can do. But I got a winner, man. And a guy who plays winning goddamn football. And all the extra talk last year, the year before, it all doesn't matter. We watch what happens if you care about getting better and you have the want to and you have the talent, you can do anything you want to do. And it goes right into the Sixers and a guy like Tyrese Maxey, who somehow looks better, even though it's preseason, than he looked last year. Because guess what? He wants to be better. And that, at the end of the day, that's what matters. And when you have a guy like this, who you look at Kyler Murray don't care about getting better. Kyler Murray's Kyler Murray.
Yeah, play video games. That's all he cares about.
Like Lamar cared about getting better, and Lamar got better, right? Credit to Lamar because he's cared about it, and he's a freak of nature. Jalen doesn't have the athleticism Lamar has. Okay, he has a different type of athleticism. He's stronger. He can go through people, but he cared about getting better, man. And I couldn't be happier to say that's my quarterback, in my TO voice, with a T or two, because I'm happy to say that, like, we got ourselves our guy and we got him in a weird way, right? We got him when we didn't want him, right? We didn't want him at that point. None of us did. Nobody did. And rightfully so. We're like, what are you guys doing?
No, and what's funny is you can look around the league too, to quarterbacks who came in that weren't super heralded or even were heralded and just weren't up to speed right away and worked to get themselves to where they are, right? Versus other guys who might have been, high picks and just coasted on it, right? I mean, the league chews those guys up and spits them out all the time. But, I mean, to your point, Tom, you look at like a guy like Josh Allen, came in out of nowhere, struggled his first 2 years, and now he's a monster. You know what I mean? And you find out those guys that don't care about themselves in the team aspect, right? They care about themselves getting better, but they care more about the team and how they can help the team. And that's where the growth is incredible.
Jalen Hurts could throw for 120 yards, right? Throw 2 picks, and you win a football game, and his demeanor in that locker room ain't no different. And I'm not saying that that you want that every week, but he also will care about getting better and making up for his mistakes.
Yeah.
But his demeanor is not going to change if you're winning football games. And I think that says a lot about in a world where everybody wants a stat pad, everybody wants their money, everybody look at me. And I think when the leader of your football team isn't a look at me, he's a look at the guy over there. Look what he's done. I'm telling you, that stuff fucking translates at this level.
Tom, I think it's ironic too, just honing it back to, the history of Philadelphia too, to your point, when you look at how, for whatever reason, not necessarily about him as a player or him as a person, but when we drafted him, it was, it didn't make sense at the time, or we didn't want it at the time, however people want to phrase it. In a way, that's kind of how we got Donovan too. Everyone was talking about Ricky Williams, and then you don't get him, and you got Donovan. And the funny thing is now, I don't think anybody should be comparing Donovan to Hurts or Hurts to Donovan, but I will tell you this at least. When you talk about this, I trust the guy we have now opposed to the, no disrespect to Five, but I trust the mental fortitude and, dealing with teammates and dealing with adversity on and off the field. I'll side with Jalen Hurts and say I'm more confident in that than what Donovan was.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Sean says, "Chrome, sorry, but you look like you're a bat boy for Friday night." One nothing still haunting us.
Please.
Pujols piss off into the dark tunnel. Philly sweep the stupid 3-game playoff. Yeah, I'm not going to go there.
Let's go. Can I please?
We'll get into that. So we'll go defensive side of the football on who you guys got.
Before we do that real quick, I want to say just about Jalen too, right? And I think it's fair to say there's nobody here, and some of us were very critical about it. I've been very open that I was very critical about him up until coming into this year. I was ready to turn the page last year with Carson and kind of roll with him and see what we have. But at the end of the day, there's nobody here that ever said, I don't think this is a kid that's going to put the work in. I don't think he has the right mind frame to do it. Everybody here has always said he's a good kid. He's a leader. He has a work ethic. So if there was a guy who could do it, it's him. It's just we didn't believe that he was necessarily that guy. And I'm always happy to say I'll eat a big bowl of shit to be wrong if it means my team's got their franchise quarterback and we're winning fucking football games. That's where we're at right now, boys. And I think it's fair to say here for all the people who want to say there's haters and nobody ever hated. Nobody ever. There's plenty of people who are quote unquote experts who said a lot worse about him than we did over the last 2 years. But he's a kid who put the work in, and like you said with Tyrese Maxey, if you know the kind of kid that he is coming out of draft day and listen to John Calipari talk about him, you got young kids in this city who are leaders amongst men who are stepping into their own now. And it's an exciting time to be a Philadelphia professional sports fan.
No, it truly is. Mm-hmm. It truly is. He's everything you want in a quarterback. We talked about this last year. We talked about how important his junior year was, too, to show if you can play or not. And through 4 weeks, he's flat out shown he can play. So, defense side of the football. Give me Kaiser White this week.
Who you got?
Kaiser?
Yeah, give me Kaiser White.
Like that.
Just let me give me something different. I think he might get a sack or two on Murray, maybe spying. Let me get Kaiser with a sack and a pick, or another like deflection pick, right? Something like that.
Chip drill.
Facing his former team. He leads the NFL in forced fumbles with 3. Week 4 defensive player of the week for the NFC? Hassan Reddick. Because he's Hassan Reddick. I don't need to even explain it any further. He's finally not playing as their 5th cornerback. Yeah. They're having him do what Hassan Reddick does best, and I think that continues.
I was going to go with him, but I'm gonna go elsewhere.
Good. I took it. Good. Coward.
I'm gonna go with one of our other additions this year. I'm going with James Bradbury. I think Bradbury's going to roll. I think the defense is going to get pressure, and we're going to see mistakes thrown on Kyler's part. And I think Bradbury could be one of those guys who's feasting in that secondary with a chance to take a pick and possibly a pick six. So I'm going to roll with Bradbury in this game.
Going pick six talk, huh?
Let's see. For me, I am going to go with Greg's son. I'm going to go TJ Edwards.
That's why you skipped me, I guess.
Yeah, that's why Frank jumped on it. You knew he wasn't going to be available in 30 seconds. Jesus, Lord. Talk about pick six. Good Lord.
Jesus. He just picked six by defensive player of the game.
First time ever on a show. I didn't know a pick six could happen in a show.
But great minds think alike. I think you're spot on, Frank. I think he could have a big game because he might be the guy that's potentially spying Kyler. You know what I mean? So I think he could have another. I mean, he's
already having a great season so far.
Yeah, and he's led the team in tackles the last few weeks. Yeah. So he's definitely up there. So since Frank picked six that one from me, I'll go Bradbury's running mate. I'll go big play Slay. Let's get a picker. Let's get a picky then, right? I think he comes back. He's been obviously him and Bradbury as a tandem have been one of the best tandem in football. And each individually they're top 5 in defensive rating or something like that. So together that means they're even better, right? So let's roll a big play Slay.
Ralphie?
I'm going to go Brandon Graham for my defensive player of the game. I think I'm going to give him 2 sacks this week for BJ. He's at the 3 so far through 4 weeks of football. Give me 2 sacks to make it 5-on-5. Absolutely. BG for my defensive player of the game.
Someone had him at double digits. Is that you, Frank? Have a double-digit sacks for the year?
Yep.
I thought somebody had it. Or maybe it was Noah.
Well, Noah had everybody.
Noah had the whole defensive line with double-digit sacks.
I mean, I have the Eagles leading the league in sacks.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
Which, so far, so good.
Yeah, Wade, it's good to – I mean, it's great to have a good secondary. And what's even better is having a legitimate linebacking core, too.
Well, to Wayne's point, this came out this morning. The Eagles defense ranks first in the NFL in sacks, which is 16, takeaways, which is 10, and opponent 3-and-out drives, which is 21. This is just the second time in the last 52 years since the 1970 merger that Philadelphia has recorded 16 plus sacks and 10 plus takeaways through 4 games. They also did it in 2000. So for as much as we were critical about Mr. Gannon, he's letting his own guys kind of do what they want. And the other thing, as far as, kudos to Howie, some of the early returns on some of the Eagles veteran offseason signings. A.J. Brown through 4 weeks, 404 receiving yards. That's 3rd in the NFL. Hassan Reddick, like I stated, 3.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, which leads the NFL. James Bradbury has had 2 interceptions and a pick 6. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, even though he's at times looked like he doesn't know how to play the position, and he's first time he's playing that position in the NFL. With all that being said, he still has 17 tackles, and he's played 99% of the snaps. And Kaiser White, kind of that quiet, mid-free agency period signing, 23 tackles. And that's 2nd on the team. That's tremendous. And that's just the guys that they signed. That's not talking about Hurts playing really well in year 3. Devontae playing really well in year 2. Dallas Goddard, so far, he's had some drops, but that's kind of what he's going to do. It's kind of like an even trade-off. He's going to give you a couple drops, but he's going to give you what Zach Ertz was never able to give you.
That one last week sucked. I think that was a touchdown.
That was the game. That was the freaking game.
And it was one of those where, sure, it probably was a tick behind him, right? But it still hit you in the body, though, right?
Yeah,
regardless, when it hits you in the body, there is no behind or in front, right? It's not like he had to lunge for it. That was one I know he probably wanted back.
It's kind of like it's all, I guess it's all about what you want, for a tight end, or at least in comparison to the last 2 stars we've had. Would you rather have a Zach Ertz who's going to be more sure-handed, but anytime he catches the ball, he's falling down immediately? Sometimes he'll already be falling down as he catches the ball. But again, some big needed catches and big moments, which is on his resume. So no disrespect. Hopefully we don't see any on Sunday, for that matter. Or Dallas Goddard, who he's going to drop a pass or two, maybe one for the freaking game on the line. But he's going to turn a broken play or a 2-yard screen pass into a 27-yard game.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Like there were times I said in the A2D group chat when it was, in middle of the monsoon on Sunday, I literally said, can we just throw it to Dallas Goddard every time? Can we just give him the ball? Because nobody's stopping him. Like honestly, and I hate saying this because it's kind of like, oh, it's so easy to compare him to like great players. He's mini Kittle. He's mini Kittle, which is what he can do in open space.
Yeah, I mean, and injury-wise, I mean, what is even Kittle anymore, right? Is
Yeah,
Kittle even Kittle with all the injuries?
Yeah, well, Kittle, the way the 49ers are right now because they're so hurt on the offensive line, Shanahan has him just playing as a glorified fifth offensive lineman.
Yeah.
So he's just a blocker right now, just because Jimmy G, which is why they wanted to go Trey Lance because he can move outside of the pocket. Jimmy G's not doing that. We did this last week, Greg.
Right, who was your defensive player of the game? Player?
Hassan. Ready?
Oh, Hassan. Yeah.
Why did I take that? Did I take that from you?
Oh no, I forgot who it was.
If Hassan got taken before me, I just have a weird feeling we're going to see something big out of Jordan Davis this week, which is weird to say because nobody knows how much he's going to play.
He was around he was kind of all over the field last week. You noticed him. I noticed him a couple plays on the sidelines, right? Chasing the play down and stuff like that. So I think he's getting more run. I think he's getting more comfortable too.
Yeah.
In what they're asking him to do. What up, Don? Thanks for super chat, brother. He says, "What up, my A2D piece? Been working late, but I'm watching. Go Birds, Sixers, Phillies, and Flyers with the crying emoji."
Yeah, we'll just leave them alone.
Yeah.
Don, thanks for tuning in, brother.
Frank or anybody, I guess, but Frank, I know you would probably have quicker access to it. Can you pull up how many snaps Jordan Davis has played, or at least in the last week? Yep. I want to see if that's going up at all.
Let's see snap counts. Let me
make
sure.
While he's checking with that,
the Google.
I'll ask all of you. Two-parter. Number one, do we all consider the Eagles to be the best team in the NFL? And I'm not talking standings-wise. I'm just trust factor. We're not going by standings. Do we all consider them right now through 4 weeks the best team in the NFL?
The Philadelphia Eagles?
Yes.
Right now, yes. Right now, yes.
And my question is,
I do agree with that.
If not, who?
It's only one team. If it's not, it's the Bills to me.
Ooh, okay.
What was the question?
And I think last week closed that gap for me.
Okay. Tom, I had asked, just taking standings out of it, just based off of trust factor, are the Philadelphia Eagles, in your opinion, through 4 weeks, the best team in the NFL?
No.
Okay. Who do you go with?
Right now, just because of track record, I'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's mine. Yes. Yeah.
Just because I got to give them the benefit of the doubt there. Man, we're real close, though. I just don't know if anybody stops that man. Like he's that generational quarterback. He almost gets disrespected because of his wife. He gets disrespected because of his brother. But the dude's a flat out freaking pimp. And everybody, he's going to lose Tyreek Hill. He's not going to be the same. And he's gotten better. And he's got the QB whisperer and Andy Reid there. I mean, their defense isn't – I don't love their defense. I think we're better defensively. They have some pieces defensively. So I don't love their defense. But it's hard to say a guy like him that's running the ship that anybody's better than that team. Overall, I think we're a better team. It's just I'll give them a little bit of a little peg up just because of their track record.
I actually got those snap counts for you, but Jake has the number, so let's pull.
I wasn't gonna put it on the screen. I was gonna see if you wanted to peek Jake to it, but
he. I was waiting until after Tom's comment. I didn't want to jump him, so I'm being nice.
Chrome.
What I miss?
Would you leave?
I got a little sidetracked. What's going on?
What, you're looking at old videos of
Ralph, answer
one
the
Mr.
question.
Pujols.
He's gone.
Tinder gets him
What?
again.
I'm right
Did
here.
you answer the question real
We
quick?
already did.
Yeah,
We
I
already
did. I picked the Eagles.
Okay. Oh, okay. My bad.
Eagles.
Nah, he was paying attention.
What was your question again?
If not the Eagles, or regardless of standings, whatever.
My top three.
No, well, just
No.
who's your? Yeah, I mean, if it's not the Eagles, who do you have as your top team in the NFL right now?
Probably Kansas City. Buffalo's close, but I just feel like Kansas City's starting to trend back in the right direction. So, and I think Patrick Mahomes is just so special, such a special player that I would probably go Kansas City right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
felt like an echo.
Yeah, if not the Eagles, I mean the other two teams, Bills and Chiefs. What more can I say?
Who would you say is the second best team in the NFC?
Second
Wow.
best team in the NFC. Huh.
Exactly.
That's tough because I still
Yeah.
think the Rams are a damn good football team, even though they're not playing like it right now. Like if we're taking standings out of it, right? I think the Rams are still very good. I don't trust the Packers yet, even though they're winning, right? You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
like those two
Their own
teams to me are the
quarterback,
exact
their own
opposite.
quarterback said they can't sustain winning the way they've been winning.
They should get Odell. I don't know why they're
Tampa-
not getting him.
And Tampa's Tampa right now, right? I mean, they're so up and down with their injuries.
I mean,
That's a tough
Yeah, I'll
question.
answer this one clear and concise. If it's not the Eagles are one. I'm going to put Tampa 2, and I don't even blink an eye at it. And I'll tell you why. Because every time that dude's had controversy in his life, every fucking time he gets better. That's the trend.
Exactly.
So
You're
from
not
the
wrong there.
Flakegate to when his mom was sick to everything that's going on media-wise in his life, I don't think this affects his man one bit. If it did, he wouldn't have played football this year. He knows what his love is, and I'll never speak of what happens behind closed doors. That's not my business. So I'm here to talk about what he does on the football field. Those guys around him are going to get a little bit healthier. As long as he has Mike Evans out there, they're going to score points.
Yep.
It just comes down to their defense, and I think they're way better than what Mahomes exposed the other night. They just are. So to me, because of the NFC's weak as shit, it's not because you could say Minnesota. You could say, nobody's saying the Giants with a straight face, but you could say Minnesota as a second because they are 3-1, right? If you're looking at records,
you
but
could throw
those
Dallas in that conversation.
you can. I mean, I think you're disrespectful if they're not in your top 3 or 4.
They're winning games with Cooper Rush. Micah Parsons is probably the best football player on the planet right now. That defense is looking very strong. There's an argument to be. I would say it's out of Minnesota and them right now. Just how they're playing currently right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeremiah. I don't buy into Kyle Shanahan. They're going to win football games. That's what they do. They're definitely going to win football games with Jimmy Garoppolo, even though Twitter seems to think otherwise. He's not a stopgap quarterback. He's just not. Is he special? No. But does he play winning football? Yes. Right. And I think there's plenty of times where they don't allow him to throw the football downfield. Right. They don't like allow for the big play offensively. I think a lot of that's on their coach of just not taking the gloves off. Right. But San Fran's in that, they're in that playoff mix for sure. Because they do have a good coach who wins football games. They got a good quarterback who wins football games, and they got a really good defense. Right. So, they're in that conversation, Jeremiah. I don't think they're 2, though.
And they have one of the best playmakers in the game in Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, of course. I think Minnesota should be 2 in terms of their record and what talent they have, but I don't believe in them yet. That's why, to me, it's Tampa, just because they at least have a track record. Like, I think last year they started off a little slow too.
Yeah, 1-3, I want to say. They were definitely 1-2. I know that for a fact.
And now they're 2-2. Like, they're not they're not in flames yet. There might be a little oil leaking, but their defense will come to play this week. You can bet on that. But Crum, I agree with you. Dallas is probably 3 just because of how they've went about their business, right?
Yeah,
everybody thought they were dead in the water without Dak, and Cooper Rush. I'm not. He's not anything special, but he doesn't turn the football over. He's making plays to keep them, to give them, to put points on the board on the offensive side of the ball, and that defense has really stepped up very big.
He's like, not to compare Cooper Rush to a guy who's gone to 2 NFC title games and one of them being the Super Bowl in the last 3 years, but the way he plays, it's kind of like a poor man's Garoppolo, where he just uses his weapons, gets out of the way, and in some instances, he makes way less mistakes than Garoppolo. Because Garoppolo is going to throw a couple where it's like, oh, that should have been picked.
Yeah, he doesn't turn the football over. He doesn't make any really bad decisions.
He's calm as hell in the pocket when he shouldn't be behind that offensive line. I'm not saying there should be a quarterback controversy because the other guy's getting paid way too much. So, like, money-wise, it can't be a quarterback controversy. But it's like, I don't know, to Grove's point, I never saw this coming, ever.
Me neither.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a controversy because the other guy is head and shoulders better than him.
He's better, absolutely.
But it's a good little story for Dallas fans. It's saying, okay, I got a capable backup here if he does go down, which he goes down a bunch. But there's going to be the other. We were talking about trades and all the other shit earlier, but that's a place where I'm worried about because I could see Odell going there, and then you put him back on the turf, right? That's an under the radar landing spot where I could see Odell go because you put him with CD Lamb. I mean, they're now lethal.
And
they're
Gallup.
And
Gallup is your third. Yeah, that's trouble.
Yeah, and that's what they need. They're missing Amari Cooper. At least Dak was the first, his first runs out there this year. He was missing Amari. CD's a pimp. But again, when you're by yourself, it's hard. Yeah. Like there's nothing around him and he's still making plays, right?
Well, the thing with them is like their defense is so good. And this is a defense that, they've lost a couple pieces as opposed to last season. It's almost like their offense has to put up 23 points and they're winning. Like they don't have to put up 35 points and win in shootouts. That's how good their defense is.
Yeah, it's the backup quarterback effect, the backup goalie, right? You start attention to detail, losing Harper for a while, right? In Philly, when you lose like your stars, it's like attention to detail a little bit more. And when you have arguably, as long as Aaron Donald's playing, I'll give Aaron Donald the edge. But when you have arguably 1B of the best defensive players in football, you're a damn good football team. And their corner gets a lot of heat. But, I mean, Diggs is probably arguably the best playmaking cornerback in football. Now, does he get beat? Yeah, all corners get beat. But I'll take the playmaking and deal with somebody getting beat, right? Yeah. We'll take interceptions here in Philly. And, okay, you got beat for 40 over the top, right? Okay, you can live with it. The feast or famine. But their front's really good. DeMarcus Lawrence is a problem. And they move Micah around. And Dan Quinn, this is what he does. So, I'm not sure how he probably didn't want to go take a head coaching job because of the talent on his defense. But that's a guy who will probably get another run through. Is it Quinn? It is Dan, right?
It is Dan Quinn, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm freaking concussed over here. So I want to make sure I got the right facts. It's not as no notice as usual, I feel like. But no, they're good guys. They're a really good football team. And I hate to say it, but we've always been fair when we talk about the Cowboys, even though we hate them.
Yep. Well, we'll see how good or.
I think Julio was referring to Johns earlier.
Yeah, he's catching up.
Oh, okay. You said get the Penn State boy.
I don't see him getting moved.
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
Yeah,
that's a good football team, and he's a good piece for them. He's not getting moved. They got a shot.
They just don't know how to use him right now with the other two guys. You know what I mean? That's what it is.
If anything, though, he's just another weapon as a decoy out on the field, though, for those two guys.
No, for sure.
You guys want to get to?
I will underestimate the Giants. I'm good.
I'm good. Saquon's awesome. Like, good for him.
Glad to see Saquon back. Kind of not really, no.
Yeah,
but I'm good. I'll underestimate him.
Give me one key offensively and one key defensively to to winning on Sunday. I'll start like the offensive side of it for me was really just taking care of the football. I know it's like, it's easy to say, but it's the truth. Because we're going to score points if we're not turning it over. That's just what we're going to do. So we can't turn the football over. And then defensively, obviously it's like, oh, you contain Murray. Yeah. You get off the field on third downs. We got to get off the field on third downs. I think if we let them extend drives and et cetera, and time of possession, all that fun stuff, then you're in for a little bit more of a dogfight maybe than you wanted to. So we got to get off the field on third downs.
I'll go, especially because of and I get it. It's 92 degrees and sunny. It's semi-indoors. I understand that. So the conditions are fine. Handling your business within the 15-yard line, like red zone, you got to make sure you handle that.
Yep.
Just to take the ball out of the kicker's hands. Again, like if you're missing a 25-yard kick and in, you shouldn't be in the NFL, period. Or your name being Dicker the kicker. But just take that, like have the kicking thing not even be a storyline because we're handling our business. We don't need to kick field goals. Just go in there and just take care of it. On defense, like we talked about before on how their one way of winning is Kyler Murray just running around in circles and playing, hero ball. To me, it's not hearing James Conner's name. Like make him just irrelevant. Because if you hear James Conner for 20 yards, James Conner for a touchdown, that means that they are using other aspects of their offense, which they haven't been able to do in the first 4 weeks. And that's taking more pressure off of their lack thereof wide receivers, and their offensive line and their quarterback. So, like, keep James Conner. And I was looking at their backup running back. And
Benjamin.
Yeah, for somebody in myself who loves average running backs, I never heard of Eno Benjamin.
I think he's out of Minnesota.
Yeah, James Conner stinks, by the way.
Yeah, and I think he's actually banged up too. Let me actually look at
which isn't a surprise for him either.
No,
they're just an average football team.
Yeah,
it's old too. It's old.
Yeah,
I think like the average age for their offensive line is like 31 and a half.
Really?
I believe so. Let me just double check.
I'll go real quick. For me, on the offensive side, for the key, I think we just get off to another fast start. I think we can get off to a very fast start and put this team and get on the board quickly. And, Tuku scores. I think we'll put this team away fast, man. Seriously. At home, too, and they're struggling at home. If you can get them on, get on fast with them, I think you could put them away very, very early.
And what about
the defensive side? Just contain Kyler Murray. Right, as we know throughout Philadelphia Eagles history, we don't do that well with mobile quarterbacks. So if we can contain them, I think we could. I think we'll end up winning this game.
Eddie, thanks, brother. Appreciate that.
Love you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
I before Frank, you go. I found the ages. DJ Humphries 28, Justin Pugh 32, Rodney Hudson 33, Will Anderson 27, Kelvin Beachum 33. So
they're older.
They're not young.
Even if they were good, a good offensive line, they got to deal with a quarterback that's not going to get rid of it in 2 seconds. It's just not his MO. So, they got a lot of pressure on them as an offensive line, and they're older. It's not a good recipe.
Let's see. For me, offensively, I mean,
now Frank wants to go in order.
I just like going in circles.
Oh my god, that was a good circle.
I mean, as I said earlier, they're not very good at home in allowing the rush in the passing game. I think, as Ralph says, just shove it down their throats. Fast starts, huge leads. That's how I'd like to see out this offense.
Oh my gosh, you're a flyer.
And defense, I mean, it's just containing Kyler Murray, make him uncomfortable. Don't make him too uncomfortable where he has to run around for 30 seconds. Just take care of him as soon as possible. And there we go.
40 boy. Read the last meme I just put out on the A2D page. We will, 40 boy. Thanks for the super chat, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
Go ahead, Greg.
Can the offensive line bring a defibrillator out for J.J. Watt? Is that too soon?
Oh, my God.
We're gonna freaking. Why are you doing that? Now we're gonna lose. What are you doing?
No, but I think the key for the Eagles, I think, is the offensive line. I think the best part of that defense would be their defensive line. But we're the number one offensive line in football. We showed last week that even when they know we're running the football, that we can still run the football at will. So I think that's still going to be a key. So the offensive line is going to be a key for me. And on the defensive side of the ball, create some turnovers like we have been, right? Takeaways, fumbles, change of possessions. I mean, we've asked for it for so many years, and we're finally seeing it, right? We're finally seeing us take the football away, and how much that helps our offense when we're able to shorten the field up and stuff like that. So those are my two.
Umberto, Elliott doesn't look like he's going to play, and not 100% sure on Boston Scott. I gotta look him up, but more worried about Avonte Maddox. Doesn't look like he's going to play Umberto, so that's no good.
I think for me, on the offensive side of the ball, kind of a lot of what Ryan had mentioned earlier. I think take advantage of those matchups, that size matchup on the outside with those wide receivers. Go out there, force those defensive backs to have to try to make plays. And I think that's going to be a big key. As far as the defensive side, I mean, you guys kind of said it all. Contain Kyler. I think that's really the key, because you can contain the running game, contain Kyler. They're dead in the water. I really think that this is going to be a game where I think they're going to go up real quick and kind of cruise through this game.
Everybody go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Real quick, and then we'll get into our NFL rundown. Phillies Cards, 3-game set, best of 3, starts this Friday, 2:07 Eastern time.
Finally.
Yep.
You got your guns throwing early. What do you guys say?
Phillies in 3.
Phillies in 3.
Phillies in 3.
Frank?
Man.
Phillies in 3. There's nothing stressful.
No doubt about it. It is going to go a 3-game series, I think. I mean, put a gun to my head, give me the Phils in 3.
Oh my!
Do you really think I expect any of you guys to pick the Cardinals? Cardinals in 3. I think Wheeler or Nola is going to get one of those games. Cardinals are a tough team at home. They're one of the top 5 home teams in the game in baseball this season.
It's all 3 straight at St. Louis, right?
Yeah, everything's in St. Louis. Yeah.
Oh, that's such bullshit.
I know.
Well, you know what? Win a division.
Shut up. Win
a division, then we have a different conversation. But until then, this is what the bed that you made, the Lion. Okay.
Oh my God.
And it's already made.
I'm just happy to be here.
Different team than the first half. I just, I know. Listen, Wheeler and Nola have had very special seasons, and I think for us, on our end, it's gonna depend on how the pitching shows up for us. I mean, if I'm the Cardinals, I know that I don't think they've announced their rotation yet. I'm probably throwing Montgomery and Quintana.
Yeah,
I think that they're your best
first
2 matchups there, and then maybe Flaherty in the 3rd game. So
that's BP.
That's really cute.
How about we throw Ray in there too? That's BPE too.
That would be BP with the way he's been pitching.
We haven't hit a ton, so I don't want to start this BP talk.
I don't care, Tommy.
Get him, Johnny. Get him, Johnny.
I do not care.
Johnny with a $2 super chat says, "Dear Chrome, F you, love John, and A2D fans."
I love you, and I love that you paid to talk shit on me. Thank you.
Greg, Rye, whoever's up.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go Phillies in 3. I got an NL ticket and a World Series ticket.
Now the Cardinals are winning. All right, good night, everybody.
No, hold on. Wait. He put money.
Very
listen,
pleased with you, Greg.
I'll give Greg benefit of the doubt. He put a ticket in for the Eagles, and we're 4-0. Okay,
different sport.
We're 4-0. We could be 0-4 with the fucking mush.
I put these tickets in when Harper was down. So
is it football or baseball?
Huh?
You make one deal with the devil. Is it football or baseball? You don't have that kind of luck to have it work both in both.
Yeah, no, you're right. I probably got more on the Eagles. So
all right, well,
but we need to win a series. I'd like a home playoff game.
Yeah,
Like to see that city painted red for a game or two.
The Cardinals get no respect from me. Phillies in 2. And I know what you're saying. Oh, Ryan, what if they're wrong? What if
Good.
You already
Talk
killed
your
me. You
shit,
can't kill
Ryan.
me anymore. I'm already dead.
Shit,
you
Ryan.
can't kill me anymore.
Fuck
They
St.
get
Louis.
no respect from me. Oh,
Fuck St.
freaking
Louis.
Wade
Can't even hold a
Wright.
fucking
Oh,
football
Pull
team.
Horse.
You mean an
No, I'm done.
organization?
I've had enough.
You have
I don't give a damn.
wait.
I don't give a damn. You get no
Organization
respect
that
from me.
does
Ryan.
You and
everything
your
the right
freaking
way,
banners. You
builds
and your
from within,
blue.
doesn't
You get no
overspend
respect.
on
No
anything.
respect from me. None.
I mean, I would still be bitter from 2011.
You will be bitter,
Thank your own
coward.
team, by
You
the way,
will
for
be
that
bitter.
one.
You'll be very bitter, coward. Don't you dare. Flags over there. Don't you do
I
it.
cannot wait till Friday. Your ass is grass.
I'm loving this. I am loving the overconfidence from a fan base that hasn't been to the playoffs in 11 fucking years. And
Yeah, I'm not. I
give
don't.
an ounce of respect. I don't expect you to pick the Cardinals, but you can't even give an ounce of respect.
Listen, I'll give an ounce of respect. I'll give plenty of
You're a real
respect.
baseball guy.
I'll give
That's
respect.
right. I went there, Ryan.
Dressed like a mascot. You want to talk about
Classless.
You're dressed like a friggin' mascot.
I've been down this road, Ryan. I'm there every
What are
year.
you, John
brother.
Cena? What are you, John
I'm there
Cena? Want to
every
be John Cena over
year.
down there?
And every year we can't see you.
See, your trademark.
won
You're not even
the
original.
series.
You're not even
fucking can't
original with
stand
it.
you.
You can't even use your own freaking
I can't
trademark.
fucking stand you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead, Chrome here because I don't care about the Cardinals, but I'll give them their respect because this is what they do. They're always playing postseason baseball, but I don't care that we haven't made it in 11 years. That has no relevance on what's going to happen on Friday, right? What's going to happen on Friday is who's the better team, who's ready for the moment, and can you go take care of business on the road? And I'll say the one thing about the Phillies, okay, you look at their record on the road, it's 41-40, and you're like, or it's 40-41, and you're like, don't really love that, right? But if you look at it and look what they've done since Robbie's taken over, they've been tremendous on the road for the most part. They've been a very good road baseball team.
Yes,
And I think St. Louis is quietly like really good, right? Obviously, when you have all Arenado and you have Goldie in your lineup, you got the pop to swing it with teams. So, and they're tremendous at home. So that's a worry to me. They played a lot of postseason baseball. It feels like a lot of guys on their roster have. So you have a little bit of benefit there. But sometimes what you don't know, won't hurt you, right? And in a case like this, like the Phillies, it's you got over a hump. And sometimes when you're able to break through, it relieves pressure, right? And I think if that goes as planned, and they are like, she finished them off, and they feel cleansed. I think they come out and really hit the baseball this series, and that's going to be difference maker, right? Because Wheeler's going to keep you in a baseball game. I feel like, and Noah's going to keep you in a baseball game. I just feel like those guys are going to keep you in it. Do you hit enough this series? And I think the Phillies are really due as a lineup to get hot. Okay, Schwartz has been hot, and other guys have like stepped up, but it's really been the Kyle Schwarber show. This is a big series for two guys offensively. It's a big series for Nick Castellanos, and it's a big series for Bryce Harper. Those guys got to hit. They're paid to hit. So if those guys hit like I think they're going to this series, I think the Phillies win it, but I think it goes 3.
Yep.
This is one benefit the Phillies have too. Castellanos has a lot of experience going against Cardinals as well and going into that environment.
True. True.
And Schwarber too.
No, I think it's going to be a great series.
Schwarber,
Honestly, I said it before the year. I don't care. Like, I just want to get in, right? I wasn't worried about who I was playing. I just get in, right? Now, if we don't get over a hump getting in, guess what the goal next year is? It's to get over that hump, win a playoff series or 2, right? But that being said, we talk about it all the time, and it's not just like coach speak. You get in, anything can happen. So everybody that's in right now, it's up for grabs. It's a brand new season. So who's going to come out and play the best baseball? Right? I'm confident in this group. I think there's enough talent here to win a series. And honestly, we'll get to the next one after it. But, I think we can beat the Braves too. I do. I think we can beat the Braves because if we win a series, that means we're feeling good. And I think a feeling good team is a dangerous team. in the postseason. So I think it's going to be a tremendous series. But I think we give it back to the Cardinals. They ended our run.
Yep.
They ended our Utley, Howard, Rollins run. So I think it's time, like I saw earlier.
Yeah, we're gonna fucking send them packing.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Yep.
You did it to our legend, bro. We're gonna do it right back to Pujols. Bye bye. Right night.
Ralph is being disrespectful. I say.
Yes, I
Ralph,
am.
the difference is we did it to you, and then we went and got the chip the same year, bud.
It's not like a Cowboys
you
fan
never
told
know.
us something that happened 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You're talking about the past for. You're talking about all that for.
You brought it up.
I haven't talked in 5 minutes. Don't look at me.
I'm a dickhead for that.
What up, Dad?
What's up, Dad?
Man, I can't wait for Pujols to hit 3 home runs in this series. It's gonna be great.
I can't fucking wait till we fucking. You know what? Fucking. I hope
Second
we sweep you
hottest
guys.
hitter on the planet.
I hope we fucking
Aaron
sweep.
Judge in the second.
We're gonna
half.
throw
I can't
meatballs.
wait.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
is it
know
going
if
to be
Noah's gonna
middle?
throw
I guarantee he doesn't see a middle ball.
I don't know if it's gonna be a
Yeah,
meatball.
I don't know how much.
He hasn't seen a real ball in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Listen, Cardinals are good. We're good. Hence why both teams are in the postseason, right? Both good baseball teams. So can you go on the road and beat a team that's tremendous at home? That's a lot to ask for. But guess what? You're going on the road with – listen, it all starts with Wheeler, babe. Like, to me, Noah's whatever. Noah did his job. He got you in. Now you got to lead the party off, bro, and you got to be lights out. And I hope
he's starting game 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were game 1, Noah game 2, and probably Ranger game 3.
Yep.
I'm not worried about Ranger's performance yesterday.
No.
Just
He
not
was
get the
hungover.
Ranger.
He was
How
hungover.
about we don't get the Ranger? How about that? I mean, just
Yeah.
that'd be fucking
No,
nice.
Rangers been strong though down the stretch. I'm good.
Um,
I have confidence in
Wheeler's
him.
got to pitch his ass off, though.
Yeah.
He's got to set the table that Noah's in a game where it's a 1-0 series lead. Because I think then you get a calmer Noah per se and a calmer baseball team, and that's how you go steal 2 there. But I think that's a lot to ask because I think one of those 2 games the Cardinals are going to hit.
Yeah.
A lot of professional hitters in that lineup.
Oh, my God.
Since it has been since 2011, let's just say we'll call it an anonymous viewer sent this in. This was all of us the last time the Phillies made the playoffs. Oh, let me get that out of there.
Yeah, holy shit. Bro,
Wow.
look at me, bro.
Oh my God, Ralph.
Holy
Dude, look
crap.
at me, bro.
Why'd you
Ryan,
find,
are you
where'd
in
you
5th
find
grade?
that photo?
Oh,
Ralph's wearing
How old
makeup.
are you,
Where the
Ralph?
hell did you find
I
that
am.
photo?
Ralph, how old are you?
2011, so that was my sophomore year of high school. So 16,
that was my Mohawk
15.
days.
We were both 15, Ralphie.
15, 16,
Well,
yeah.
by the way, peep those diamonds, babe.
I know,
sure.
look at them.
Man, I'm
That
still
was my
one.
Mohawk day. That might have been down in Ocean City, Maryland, in Secrets.
It's weird, Chrome,
Sure.
because in the creation of this image, I stumbled across some photos of you in a Phillies jersey. I thought that was weird.
I've worn Philly stuff on the air. Ain't no big deal. I wore a Verlander shirt too.
What was I doing that game?
Cheering on
Oh!
Phillies happy.
Oh, that's what I did. Yeah, I appeared on an what was it? An ESPN 3 stream. And
That
I
literally
found
looks like a
myself.
selfie I took last week.
Wow, that is fucking great.
Baby dad.
That is great.
Well, 11 years later,
Yeah,
We're
here
gonna
we
be-
are.
those Cardinals.
Here we are.
No more Mohawk.
By the way, I'm opening
No
my
more
doors
hair.
for anybody that wants to come by and watch the game on Saturday night.
By the way, it's cool. I didn't have hair there anyway, so
I'm opening my doors for any of you guys that want to come over and watch the game on Saturday.
yeah, I refuse to watch the game anywhere around you. So you could offer me $1,000. Yeah,
Game and
You watch-
Extreme Rules.
What would be wrong with watching a game with me?
I think it's bad juju. I'm going in enemy territory. It's nothing against you. I love you. It's
Well, isn't
just,
that what the Phillies are doing? Going in enemy territory? They're doing
yeah,
it.
but I'm going to come here and take your
Why
house.
can't you can't live? Why can't you face the same thing that they do?
Hold on, I can face fucking anything. So don't.
Well,
don't
I mean,
stop.
you
I
know,
can
but
face
you're
anything.
not. I mean, I put the offers there. The challenge was thrown down.
Again, I'll be very courteous. I really respect the offer. I love the offer, just like I'm going to be courteous of St. Louis history. right? Respect it, but I ain't coming over your house to steal your house, babe, because that's what we're going to do. So you don't want me coming over like a fucking pirate, all right?
Yeah.
You don't want that. Tommy the pirate,
Pirates. Get the pirate bed ready. We could do poses before.
Bring your own onesie.
Bring your own. Bring your own rompers.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh God. It's gonna be fun though, guys. Just at the end of the day, before we get into our NFL slate here, just enjoy it because it's been a while, right? But be mad if it doesn't go our way, of course, and call guys out for it because we demand better. We're not in this just to be like, oh, that's cute. We made the postseason, right? We're in it to win a series, maybe win 2. Play, some house money because it's not house money because you are a payroll. That's a ton, right? You do have a lot of talent. So to me, it's not like a house money team per se. Like you're supposed to be good.
In fairness, Tom, they probably should have been better than they were.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think
I'm not saying they don't deserve to be there because they were a much better team after Joe Girardi, and that was a whole other conversation. But it took a little bit of help from Milwaukee to back out of that. So they're in, and this should be a catapult for them going forward, even the next year too. Beyond this,
yeah, I think they backed themselves in. Right to your point, I think they almost fell into the water here. Right, they did. I did like how they won that game in Houston to clinch it.
Yeah,
and they didn't lose, and Milwaukee didn't lose, so you felt like you really backed yourself in.
Like you're in because Milwaukee lost, right?
So they played their best baseball, and one of their best pitchers pitched his best game in the biggest game of the year. And I think when you can remove that from your shoulders, man, I think the loose baseball team is the better baseball team in the postseason. So we'll find out who's looser. And can you withstand? Can you withstand when it's?
Ted, I was 26.
Say, St. Louis gonna have an inning where they have bases loaded or 2 guys on, right? Can you withstand it? Are you able to keep, instead of like, okay, 6 or 7 guys back, are you able to keep it to 1 run instead of letting it catapult to 3, 4, 5, right? That's the difference. Are you able to withstand the energy that comes with the home team, runners on, and all the electricity that comes with that? That's the postseason baseball. That's different. So can you control your emotions? And, I think both our pitchers Wheels got more emotion than Noah, but that's not saying a lot, right? So it's not like Wheels is Mr. Emotional. Listen, it's going to be fun, man. Can Bryce Harper get hot? I think that's what we're all going to ask for. Because if Bryce gets hot, all bets are off here. They just are for us, for how far we go too. Like, I'm not putting it on Bryce's shoulders. I'm just making a common sense baseball argument. If this
your best player gets rolling, it's good.
Yeah, we need Bryce Harper to be hot this series and in the postseason if we want. Yeah, and he's been cold.
If you look at his, his track record of his up and downness, right? Because most players go through that, right? He's due. He's due to come on up. It's just the reality. My one concern though, if I have a concern, it's the bullpen. I wish Sir Anthony wasn't throwing like balls.
He's hurt. Right? He's still hurt.
No, I agree. The 3 that really worry me is Sir Anthony, Brogdon, and Robertson just not throwing really well right now. But Alvarado's pitching like gas.
Alvarado and Eflin have been money.
And Eflin has emerged. You're absolutely right, Tom. And Eflin has emerged as another weapon out there.
Sinker plays in the back end.
Yeah. So, I would feel a lot more comfortable, especially if one of those 3 is going to be better. But that of the last couple of games, you don't take much out of. But Sir Anthony's struggles continue, and that worries me a little bit.
Definitely worries me a little bit. Hopefully an off day tomorrow. Sort of rest these guys up a little bit. I'm a little concerned about Robertson, but he did get a big double play.
Yeah.
Ended up getting out of the inning. So he calmed himself down after a leadoff walk.
Yep.
He's a veteran enough that I think he'll figure himself out.
Yeah, he's pitching a lot of big games, so I'm with you.
I think getting Brad Hand back's big for this bullpen too. Just as another veteran Is he going
to be officially back today?
Yeah, he threw off the mound today. So I think all reports
trending that way.
Yeah, that he's going to be added. But you're right. So Anthony's a kicker, but the way Alvarado's thrown, oh my goodness gracious, he's unhittable.
He's gas right now.
I won't even put it on. Not that you're wrong in saying, Harper and Castellanos, those two guys need to, step up in the series. I won't even put it on a specific player or players for that matter. They've shown over the last, I'll just say since September started, they've had no issue putting guys on base. It's about getting them home. It's about not stranding guys. That's something that's got to change, whether that's just timely hitting or whether that's, with the long ball. It doesn't really matter to me because it's like you've done the first part so well. And it's just like, once there is somebody on base, you forget how to hit. And that's been the biggest thing.
Yeah, not to go against you, but there you go. Right? Like to your point, yeah, there's 9 guys that are hitting. I get it. There's gonna be different guys that come up with runners on. But those 2 guys are going to come up with runners on base.
Yep. And
if you want to win a series, right, guys, like this isn't like, it's all at your feet, but it essentially is at the feet of those 3 guys. I mean, it's at the feet of Schwarber, Harper, and Castellanos have to hit. They can't be ice cold and us expect to win a series. Now they can be, I guess, if Alec Baum has a monster series or Reese gets hot, right? So there's to your point, there's other ways to win too, right? Besides those guys. But if you want to make a deep playoff run, that starts with your stars, right? And it starts with your big money guys. We see it every postseason. The big money guys hit. So, Bryce Harper's had a really tough year in terms of injuries, etc. He's got to come up big when the lights are bright here.
It's about the biggest names being dependable when it's most necessary, because if we're going into game 2 or for that matter game 3, if we get there saying, oh my God, we have to depend on guys like Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott, we're probably in a bad spot here. We're probably looking at it like, oh, okay. No, honestly, if we're going into a game 3 saying we need Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott to come up big, we're probably thinking to ourselves, how did we get to a game 3? You know what I mean? Like we had no business being in a game 3 because that means none of our other guys are really doing much.
Jonathan, thanks for tuning in, brother.
Unless we're winning,
Good night.
Unless we're winning 1-0 in the first two games.
Well, I think Bryce Harper gets the benefit of I took the loser off of his shoulders because I keep it fair, right, Ralphie?
Yeah,
I keep it fair here. So I'm gonna call you out when we spend a lot of money on you and we can't get over a hump when you're the leader. You're going to be enemy number 1 for me, right? When we're begging for postseason baseball. But guess what? I'll never question his toughness. I'll never question how good he is, right? Greg knows this. Yeah. I question some other things, but that being said, that monkey's officially off your back. So you don't have Hater Tom barking at your neck. That being said, though, now come money time, I need you. I don't expect you to hit 4 home runs in a series, but I need you for a big hit, right? I need you. I need that. I'm banking on you to be able to come up big in this series. And that's not easy to do. But guess what? When you're the star, and we all know that you have the ability to get hot, and when you do, you're arguably the best hitter in baseball. So, I'm going to look at you to start this series, even though you're no longer a loser. Now it's, hey, can you carry us? Can you really shut up everybody nationwide that's ever had criticisms of you, right? So this is big for him. This is big in a weird way. It's not the end all be all, right? Because you got over a hump this year. But it's big for him, and it's big for a guy like Nick Castellanos, who was somehow top 10 in the NL in hits before he got hurt. And it was the quietest thing I've ever seen in my entire life of watching sports, right? So, it's not just Harper. Schwarber got us here. So Schwarber gets a little bit of a pass, all right? Because if he wasn't scorching hot, we don't get here, right? But the other guys that haven't been hot, Gene, right? JT's been a fucking hot as a pistol, as Wilson says. So JT and Schwarbs are the reason you're playing in the postseason. So now can you pick up those guys a little bit? Because Reese, right? Eyes are on you. I mean, all these guys. So it's not just, Harper's got to hit. It's you need 4 or 5 guys hitting this time of the year for you to be able to move on. That's the whole point. Absolutely. So it's not one guy, but you better have 4 guys that are hot, right, Greg?
And it's money time for Reese too.
If I
it's money time for Reese.
It's going to depend.
Let's get into. Go ahead, Chrome. Sorry.
Just say it depends. If I was to guess what the rotation you guys are going to face is, I would say probably Miles game 1, and then some kind of a mix of either Flaherty and Quintana. I think those are the 3 top arms coming in right now. Montgomery struggled a little bit. Quintana, he gives up hits, like you guys said. So that would be an interesting matchup because you talk about you guys get guys on base but can't get them home. That's kind of been Quintana's MO for some of his games is letting guys get on, but he's been able to contain the damage to get a lot of wins. So that could go either way where there could be opportunities there for you guys to win that game.
Well, what's your confidence of Wainwright shutting us down?
I don't think Wainwright. I'll be honest. I don't think Wainwright gets to start in this.
Good.
Who'd you say was starting game 1?
Jack Flaherty has come back and looked very strong.
Miles.
I think you're going to get Miles.
Who's starting game 1?
I think
Miles.
You'll get Miles Michaelis game 1.
Oh.
I think you'll get either Quintana or Flaherty in some form, whether it's 2 or 3, however they work out. That's the rotation I would go with.
That's good. Flaherty's good though. I like Flaherty.
He's looked real good since he's come back.
The first guy I don't know enough about. I don't know why.
Quintana?
Yeah,
Michaelis.
Yeah, he was an all-star last year.
Yeah, I just don't. He's
an
a
all-star.
quiet guy.
Professional pitcher, goes deep into games. He's tough to hit. He was 1 out away from a no-hitter earlier this year.
I'm going to put you right next to him.
I don't care.
What's the numbers, Chrome?
All right. When Friday comes, the friendship goes out the door. I do not care. All right.
What's his numbers, Chrome?
I'll let you know.
Probably ass.
While he looks that up, a cool moment today, the last game of the season. Stephen Voigt from the Oakland A's announced he was retiring. He homered in his final home game, in the final game of the season. So
didn't his kids announce him coming up to the
yes,
plate?
His kids
I think they did. And you see the whole dugout. I mean, he's a good pro.
Don't tell me baseball's not great.
Yeah.
Don't tell me baseball's not great, you soccer losers. Don't tell me baseball is not the greatest sport ever in terms of like the things that go on inside games and the weird things that happen. Like Nick Maton gets hit off his brother.
Yeah,
right?
that's
Like,
awesome.
Yep.
You know, Garrett Stubbs breaks up a no-hitter. He's a former Astro, right? In the 9th. Like the poetry inside baseball gets overlooked by the jabrones. So go enjoy 1-1 ties.
Random guy jumping out of the stands for a home run ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
and not getting it, by the way.
Not even
he
close.
just missed it.
No,
So close.
Just over the corner.
So Miles,
right, you can go ahead, Cromer. Sorry.
3.29 ERA, 153 strikeouts, had a 12-13 record. I know the bullpen blew a few games for him as well.
What's his record?
He's good. He's good.
3.29 ERA, 153 strikeouts.
No, for sure. He's good. I know our NFL slate of games is brought to you by Gleason's Bar, which is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, PA. You can use our promo code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online. Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com is where you can find them. Go use our promo code. Let them know the boys from A2D sent you. Go get the Trenton. Go get a little Whiz Wit. Go have some cocktails. Go just freaking enjoy your life.
Go in any door you want.
Yeah, both doors are good. Both doors, side door, front door, either one's good. Yeah.
And make sure you go in the right one so we don't miss on a good part of trivia night. So
if I ever gave a read where that wasn't mentioned, we would be doing everybody a disservice. Somebody else can do the read off the slate of games. I don't know.
Go ahead, Ryan.
I've got it. I am on the DraftKings site, if anyone's wondering where the odds are from. Okay, we will start out with
Frank. I wanted to ask Frank, what's the
guy?
All right, so the current standings right now.
By the way, time out. Before we give the lock, before we discuss the locks, can I pull back my Detroit lock from last week after I gave the lock and the entire offense was out for that game? Like, do I get a mulligan on that one?
No.
What? We don't do mulligans.
When you gave a lock on Wednesday and then the entire
we
team,
all give the locks on Wednesday.
I understand.
Who did he play last week?
No mulligans.
All right.
Okay. Can I have something, Frank? Since, I've been concussed and I didn't do locks because I wasn't even capable of seeing straight. So do I get like a 2-0 since Greg just won freebies?
I just asked you for something real. Like if we were giving it on Saturday, Sunday, I wouldn't have given the lock
let me explain
because the entire team was out.
Standings. and then we can make
Go
a
ahead,
judgment
Frank.
call on this one. So, one Mr. Cardinals Crumb is still in the lead with a 647 win percentage.
It's the only thing he'll be leading in after Monday.
Yes. Now, following this is one Mr. Malakovic with no mulligans allowed.
Yeah, you're not getting a mulligan. You're in second place. You're not getting a mulligan.
Yeah, you're not getting a mulligan at 8 and 11 with 421. Now this is where the question marks come in because Tom didn't give his locks.
Just go
Sorry.
winning
But
percentage. Frank,
his
just
winning
go
percentage is 400, putting him at third.
Yeah, because everyone has different amount of picks, so just go winning percentage.
All right, so 400 winning percentage for one, Mr. Arnone.
Yeah, I'm sorry about last week that I didn't get him in, Frank.
you're-
I know you messaged me.
You're fine. You're fine. Things happen.
Who's left, Frank?
You want to take
And
a couple
then
extra this
following
week,
is me with a 389
Cheater.
and one Mr. Well, the remaining two are tied for at 375.
Did I have a winning week at least? Did I not go over?
You,
went 2 for
you
2.
did have a winning week.
Where did I go?
You went.
I went 2 for 2.
You went 3 for 2. Nobody went overed.
Oh, very good.
All right, we're getting better. So let's do the rundown. Who's our first game?
The Colts traveling to the Denver Broncos tomorrow night. The spread is so Denver is a 3.5 point favorite. The over under is set at 42.
Now remember, no Jonathan Taylor for Colts tomorrow. He is out. Remember that.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Ralph.
I would take Denver, and I'm going to take a lock on the under on this one.
All right.
Give me Denver.
What is the under?
42 and a half.
Give me Denver minus the 3.5. Not as a lock. I'm just.
Give me Denver, not as a lock. I'm also going to join Chrome with the lock being the under, Frank.
Okay. Under.
What's the over under?
42
and a half.
42 even.
No, it's just even.
Okay. Only. Yeah. The half is like throwing me off. Is it the half or more?
No, it's
No,
42.
it's 42.
Okay. The answer to life, universe, and everything. I'm going to go with Denver on this one. I don't see any spiciness like Russell Wilson's Danger Witch. Give me the Broncos winning.
Oh, they need to win. So
With the spread or just winning the game?
Yes. No locks.
No, I'm not worried about a lock.
It's a win.
I'm taking Denver with the points.
Yeah.
Everyone go?
Yep.
All right, first game, and it is the London game on Sunday. The New York Giants against the Packers. The Packers are 8-point favorites. The over-under is set at 40.5.
give me the Packers on a roll job here.
Yeah, I got the Packers.
Frank, give me this as my lock of the week.
And I'm also going to take the Packers as well as my lock. And where did you get that spread at? What was the spread at?
8.
Yes, it's 8.
It's at 8?
Yeah.
It's at 8.
All right.
Giants come back to reality a little bit this week.
Chrome, you also took them?
Who, me?
Chrome, you also took the Packers?
Yeah, not a lock, but
No, I understand. I'm going Giants plus the 8. The London games are always fishy. I just think the NFL keeps it close. I think the Packers win. The Packers could win by a touchdown. It's just I'm going to take the 8 points with the Giants.
Giants cover, no lock.
Yeah, I think they run dry on. I know it's a lot of points. It's a lot of points for a reason. You're saying, why is a 3-1 team? It's like almost wanting you to take the Giants, right? The quarterback injuries, that's a concern, man. And especially you're going to London. Like, they got more question marks than good things. They've done a really good job this year. I give them a ton of credit because they're doing more with less. Brian Dable is. But the Packers are due for a fucking spinorama. You know what I mean? They're due for one of those big scoring games. And to go against you, Greg, in the point of like NFL wants close, NFL wants electric. And NFL's got no problem with the Packers winning 42-17.
No, I hear you on that one.
So it's about selling your product and one of your best players in the league, and Aaron Rodgers. So I don't even get into that side of it. I just think that their offense is due for a big one. And I think the Giants are due to come back down to reality a little bit. They're a tough football team. I just think it's a double-digiter. But I could see everybody taking the Giants too. When both quarterbacks got hurt last week, it's like, I can't take it this week.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's fair.
Like, that's scary. It's already a scary quarterback room to begin with. And then, and everybody's on an injury report. You're like, all right, well, Saquon was playing quarterback at one point.
Yeah, Wildcat.
Yeah, so I just think it's the week where they get thumped.
It catches up to them. Yeah, very well could. Absolutely.
I'll be wrong. So
Ralphie,
Ralphie, go ahead.
Oh, give me the Packers, 100%.
Like your style.
Well, 100%, is that a lock then? If we're going 100%?
No lock.
Oh, so 99%. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, more in the early 90s.
Gotcha. All right, so if you thought the Packers were getting a lot of points, we'll go to the next game and it'll say, wow, it's not a lot of points actually. You have the Steelers traveling to the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are 14-point favorites. The over-under is set at 46.
And this is
a lock for me. Yeah, Kenny Pickett's start.
Kenny Pickett's first start. So
give me the over on this one, 46.5.
Kenny two gloves.
14. Give me the Bills win this football game, but give me the Steelers to cover that 14. That was a lock. I just think the Steelers cover the 14.
Ralph, what are you doing on the game?
What do you mean?
Who's winning the game?
Oh, I got the Bills, but I got the over for it.
Okay.
I'm going to take the Bills on this one. No locks.
I'll go with
you got my lock, Frank, right?
Yes.
I'll go with the Bills. My lock. How did you word it last week, Frank? Basically, I think the Bills are going to get a turnover. Like, I think Kenny Pickett's turning it over.
Kenny Pickett interception.
Yes, give me that as my lock. Thank you. Chrome?
I think it's a roll job. Buffalo wins this game.
Should be. But guess what? Through it all, that's arguably one of the best coaches in the league. It seems to always come to fight. Now, do you have enough fight to slow that big fucking power machine down? I don't know. But you can still lose by 12 and cover it. I
think they might lose this game by 25.
They could lose a game by 45, right? And it doesn't surprise me because they're that much better than the Steelers.
Yeah.
But it's so many fucking points. I've always the betting world's always led me this way, and it doesn't always work, right? But sometimes you're like, man, that's a tough football team. They're not good though, but they're physical, they're tough. Fucking 14. My goodness gracious, they're playing. Sweeps always says what his dad says. They're tying their shoelaces the same, aren't they? You know what I mean? Like, what are they? What are they going out there without shoes on? Like, was it 14?
That was Arkansas against Bama for me last week. You're at home getting 17. Come on, you can cover that.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Give me the Bills, and that's gonna be my lock. Bills minus 14.
Wow, you're such a fraud.
Whew.
I can't wait for your losing percentage to come down. I mean, you're just going.
I couldn't get a mulligan on a team that barely had an offense last week. But hey,
you realize we did locks of the week during a COVID season and nobody bitched. Stop it.
Greg. I was literally laid up in a fucking bed last week.
Yeah,
so
you didn't get locked. It's fine.
No, but I don't hear about your mulligans. Because I could argue that I'm behind you.
Where did the Lions play last week?
Seattle,
right?
They played Seattle.
They put up fucking 42 points last week.
Yeah, with no offense.
So what the fuck are you pitching for?
I wouldn't have given him a lock if I knew St. Brown, Shark, and Swift weren't going to be in there.
Oh my god!
I already knew Swift.
It's not like they lost by 65. They put 42 points.
Yeah, and I'd be a freaking billion.
Greg, sorry.
Yeah, Greg. And if I invested in freaking Amazon in 2002, I'd be a billionaire. But I didn't do it.
True.
Next, you get nothing. Next.
Good day, sir.
Yes, good day. The Bears.
They put up 45 points.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ralphie. I think it's still. I was gonna say, Ralphie. I think you sold them short a little bit.
Yeah, they're the number one scoring offense and the last scoring defense.
I saw a tweet I saw a tweet. It was probably the tweet of the week by Orlovsky. He was like, "If the Lions had a bad defense, they would be 3-1." Everybody's like, "Wait a minute, what does that mean?" It's like that means they have worse than a bad defense.
Yeah, so true.
Next game, the Bears travel to Minnesota. Minnesota are 7-point favorites. Over under set at 44.
Minnesota.
Justin Fields flat out stinks. I don't even care what anybody says. He stinks. So until he proves he doesn't stink.
Can't argue.
But Minnesota always plays down to whoever they play. That's their MO. So they'll play down. But I think Fields stinks that bad. Give me Minnesota. Give me Minnesota -7.
And I just made a last-second addition. Give me the lock on Minnesota -7.
Minnesota -7, but no lock.
Yeah, Minnesota -7, no lock.
Ralphie?
I said Minnesota.
Oh, right.
I don't think you did, but okay. I also got Minnesota.
All right.
-7.
The no lock, Greg? No lock?
Mm-hmm. You guys to make sure the whole offense is in.
Yeah, we're good.
He's checking. He's checking.
Gotta check the injury report.
Next
on
game.
Wednesday.
The Atlanta Falcons travel to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers are -9, 9-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5.
Brady gets a divorce. He puts up 50 this week.
That's a big line. Falcons stink though. Mariota's horrendous.
Yo, but the Falcons have been covering. I think they're 4-0 right now.
Yeah, they fight a little
They're
bit.
4-0 against the spread. Like
I'm locking
that's
it.
insane.
I'm locking in the Falcons to cover.
Listen,
9.
Brady's a new guy.
Good, because I'm going to pick up a game on you because I'm locking TB12 just to go nuclear on the Falcons. I'll take the Bucks minus the 9 is a lock.
Embarrassed last week.
Yep.
Defense taken to the woodshed. This smells like a big TB12 Tampa Bay response game. Give me the Bucks minus the points.
I too will take the Bucks with the points and the win.
Good pick.
I'll go Bucks as well. Frank, my lock. Same thing I did for the Steelers-Bills game. Anytime interception for the Bucks.
So that would be who's starting under center?
It's Mariota.
So Mariota.
Yeah.
So over half. So 0.5.
Yep, thank
so
you.
over.
Yeah, way over. Everybody go?
Yep.
All right, we have the Dolphins with Teddy Bridgewater traveling to the Jets. The Dolphins are 3-point favorites.
You know what, man?
The over-under is set at 46.
Give me the Jets.
Give me the Jets.
Jets fucking money line. Give me the Jets.
Is that your lock?
No, it's not my lock, but just give me the
Boo.
Jets. Jets, baby.
I'm with you.
I'll take the Jets upset.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, I'm going Jets. No lock. Greg, did you go?
Jets.
Okay. Next game. We have the Titans traveling to the Commanders. Titans are actually 2.5-point favorites in this. Over-under set at 42.5.
Give me Tennessee, please.
I also have a lock on this game. Give me Tennessee the money line.
We're going to find out who Washington really is this week. I think they stink just from what the eyes have showed us. They can't block anybody. They don't get off the field. Ron Rivera might be the most overrated coach in NFL history. Great guy, just overrated. Tennessee's got one of my favorite coaches in football, Mike Vrabel. He does more with less. He's one of those guys. Guys want to run through fucking walls for him. We talked last chance you for Carson to start this year. That last chance you's running out. Give me the Titans.
Lasted about 3 weeks.
You know, until they
he saw us.
Yeah, until they
less than 2 weeks. Yeah,
and I can't even put it all on him. You know, he's got to get rid of the ball quicker, but they don't block anybody, man.
No,
they're bad.
I'll take the Titans as well.
I got fooled by him last week. So fool me, shame on me. I'm going to go back to the well. Give me Washington plus the points. I don't know why. There's nothing that tells me that other than it's the NFL. Give me Washington plus the points.
Greg, I agree with you. If they lose this game, I'm declaring them dead. Like, you might as well play Sam Howell. And again, it's not fully Carson, but that's where you start with.
No, you're absolutely right. unless you fire the coach.
Could, yeah.
And
to Tom's point, I like Rivera, but it looks like he's just one of these guys where his message is not carrying anymore. It's just not there.
A fucking Superman took him to a Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, a guy who had an MVP, a monster year, something this league's really never seen in terms of his size and what he was able to do. Like, he just had a fucking monster year and carried that team on his back, man. Say whatever you want about Cam. That year was a remarkable year. Mm-hmm. He didn't always live up to it after that or before that, but he did it all, Bird.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he has the ability to carry somebody, and he did. Because their defense was overrated that year too. They made it out to be like he was the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah, that was a year like Luke Kuechly wasn't even human. And it was like a one-man army over there.
15 in 1 year too.
Yep. So I'll go Commanders, but I wouldn't dare put a lock on the freaking Commanders. I'm not that dumb.
No, I actually took them versus Dallas last week because I thought
did last week. I lost way too much money on them last week.
Yeah, I thought they were going to come to play, and they just stink.
Yep.
Yeah,
stink.
I thought they would win like 8-9 games. I thought they were going to win like 8-9 games. I don't know if they get to 6 the way they're playing right now.
Yeah. Right. I told you that I thought they were going to be that team that contends with us.
Yeah, I thought I had them in second place. Yeah, same.
Because it looked like they're like what the problem was there, not problem, but what the motivation was. It's a lot of last chances. Yeah. Like it's Ron's last run through. Well, especially as a head coach.
They've competed in past years with bad quarterback play, and now you add a couple more weapons, a defense that everybody's been saying for like 4 years. Oh, it's the second coming. That I guess they are doing to their secondary what we did for years with our linebackers. It's like, Ron, you need cornerbacks. Ron. You haven't, for as good as your defensive line's supposed to be, your cornerbacks suck. They're terrible.
No, they really are, right? And the other side of it is, Carson in 2016 was getting the ball out of his hands in like under 2.5, right? Like really an emphasis of getting the ball out of his hands. I think just the pressure alone, like it leads you to not trust it anymore. Like I think that dude's been hit so many fucking times and has been looking for the big play too much. I think it's cost him. Like I don't know if it's something he can ever go back to because one, he does hold the ball too long, and two, and two, he's just not the same guy. It's as simple as that.
Well, the way he's playing, there's no, again, unless you have a resurgent second half. If he's a starting quarterback next year, it's not going to be on Washington, and it's going to be at most a team that's not. There's no tanking in the NFL. It's not the NBA, but like a Seahawks, for example, it's like, oh, we're just going to go into it with Geno, even though Geno's looked better than Wentz, which is hilarious to me. Yeah. And it's kind of like, hey, he's a bridge guy who, or like, the perfect example, Mitchell. Like Mitchell Trubisky. Hey, we drafted a kid. We don't really want to play him right now, so we're going to bring in, Carson Wentz just to ease him along. But we're probably going to end up playing the kid, by week 7. That's
I agree. I don't know if he's even a starter after this if it doesn't work there.
Not for a winning team.
He can make a lot of money in this league being a backup for the next 8 years. Yeah, for sure. If he's willing to accept that role, because guys can make a lot of money in this league not doing nothing. Mm-hmm. And that's a dude who took a lot of hits and not a bad dude to come in off your pine either. Like if you look at it that way, like, hey, I'm a bad football team, I need a spark, right? Or I'm a good football team, my quarterback went down. Not a bad guy to have. And honestly, the way his history's worked, he would probably go win a Super Bowl as the backup like Nick did.
Yeah, right.
The crazy thing, there's a lot of quarterbacks in this league, some backups that I would take over Carson, and a lot of these players that I would take over Carson are way less talented than him. It's just he can't get out of his own friggin' way. Like if you ask me gun to head, who would you rather continue the season with, Wentz or Cooper Rush? I'm going Cooper Rush, and I don't think anyone would have thought that would be a legitimate sentence. Everybody go though. Everybody go.
Yeah, we went. And no, Ryan can't argue it. To your point, like there ain't no argument there.
The Detroit Lions, who don't have a bad defense, they have somehow worse than a bad defense in the words of Orlovsky. Travel to the New England Patriots. Frank, I believe your guy's still starting,
Yes,
correct?
and this is my lock for this game. This
Hold
is
on. Let me give the line real quick. Let me give the line in the over/under.
Play the dang line.
How fast did you go 6 to midnight this week?
The Patriot. He looked good, by the way.
He looked great.
I'm not saying he did it.
Yeah. The Patriots are 3-point favorites. The over/under is set at 45.5.
Okay, so my lock is a prop on my guy, Bailey Zappi from good old Western Kentucky University. My lock for this game is involving him. Give me the over on passing touchdowns against the Lions.
Jesus Lord. What's the over/under on it?
1.5.
It's 1.5. It's 1.5. Against a
what's the over/under for Dan Campbell crying on the sideline?
What, Ralph?
What?
So what's the over/under for how many tears Dan Campbell's going to shed at the fucking press conference?
Oh, it's 5.
1.5.
I love my players.
But
give me the Patriots, I guess. I don't fucking know.
Lions.
That's a shit game to pick.
Give me the Lions. No luck. Sorry.
Maybe Pats.
I'll take the Lions in this game.
I'm happy for Zappi.
Greg's checking the rosters. Give him a second.
Nick checking it twice. Kind of like Washington. I'm just gonna go back to the well. Gonna go Lions plus the 3. No lock.
The well's getting dry. Chargers traveling to Cleveland. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. The over/under set at 47.5.
This is a lock for me, Frank. Chargers, Browns over 47.5.
Oh man.
I'm gonna take the Browns on this one. No lock.
Browns plus the 2.5. This is gonna be a lock for me. This Chargers minus 2.5.
Give me Chargers minus 2.5. No lock.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns as well. No lock.
Ralph, did you have a side on the game?
Give me the Chargers, but I'll take the over.
Yeah.
Next game, the Houston Texans traveling to Jacksonville. Jacksonville 7-point favorites. The over/under set at 43.5.
7.
Give me Jacksonville.
7.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. What's this? Texans at Jacksonville?
At Jacksonville.
Holy hell! By the way,
Look at Philly sweep.
Is this a jinx thing?
No, this is he's playing games.
Don't play in his nonsense right now. We don't have time for this, Uncle Sweeps. We don't have time for this.
To give out.
I love
you guys are gonna be throwing BP. We're gonna average 8 runs a game. We don't have time for it.
You're such a humble man.
Give me the Jags.
This line's weird, right? Like that's a lot.
I'm going Jags on this.
After Trevor Lawrence had 5 turnovers, they're all of a sudden. Who just bounced, Ralphie?
Hey, Ralph.
They're all of a sudden 7-point favorites after the performance they had on Sunday.
Yeah, give me the Jags then. Give me the Jags. Clean it up.
Frank, you also went Jags?
I did go Jags. No lock.
Frank, how many locks do I have? Jesus Christ.
2.
I have 2. Jeez. How many games we got left on the slate here?
I think we're halfway done.
6.
No, we got time. Okay, go ahead.
I'll go Jags as well. No locks.
I'll go Jags.
Chrome, you went?
I took Jags.
Okay. Next game. The Seattle Seahawks travel to New Orleans. The New Orleans Saints are 5.5-point favorites. Over/under set at 46. I would imagine it's still Andy Dalton. I would imagine. Is that correct?
I believe so.
I'm going to take Seattle here, and I'm going to lock that in.
Seattle
with 5.5.
Yeah, I kind of like that, to be honest.
Yeah, Saints shouldn't be giving anybody 5.5.
So they're banged up everywhere too.
Yeah,
but Seattle stinks too.
I'll take Seattle with the points.
Give me the Saints. Why are they 5-point favorites?
No Michael Thomas, no Jameis Winston in practice.
Kamara
Kamara was
practice.
limited. He was limited, and so was Landry.
Jesus God.
They're whole, I mean,
Why is
Give
that?
me Seattle. You know, give me Seattle outright.
Why is that 5? Give me New Orleans and Dalton sling party to me and you.
Frank, is that a lock, or are you just taking the money
I'm just
line?
saying. I'm just saying. Taking the money.
All
I
right,
guess
let's get
I guess it's Vegas saying they don't as much as Geno Smith has played decent. Geno Smith shouldn't be anywhere near being a road favorite. I guess that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean they just gave up 45 to the Lions, so I mean,
Yeah, that too.
and they're missing a bunch of pieces. So
I'll
that's
take the
cute.
Saints as well, just regular.
I'll go Seahawks, but I won't put a lock on it because it is weird. I'm staying away from that game. Next game, you have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Carolina. 49ers, 6.5-point favorites, over under set at 39.
Jesus.
That's
Jeez.
basically
Yes.
saying, don't watch, we're not scoring.
Yeah.
My last 2 locks here, Frank. Locking in 49ers at 6.5 and Debo Samuel anytime scorer.
All right, Devo any, and then you took San Fran with the points.
Yes.
Well, this is a must-win for the Carolina Panthers.
That is,
Gentlemen, with that, I unfortunately have to hop off now.
Love you, Cromer.
See you, brother.
Love you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Anybody
fuck
wants
the
to call,
Cardinals.
let me know about Saturday.
Screw you, Cardinals.
Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll
To the,
send you a
fam
gift.
out, to the fam out there, hey, it's Philly sports versus Cardinals all weekend. So enjoy the weekend. Enjoy your
Go
playoff run. It's going to be over soon. See ya.
Screw you. Love you, buddy.
All right, what game were we just at?
49ers.
The Niners, Panthers.
It's so weird because it's almost like with that over under, can the Niners even win by a touchdown?
Yeah, I guess a Carolina don't score.
Yeah, was it 21-7, and even that's barely, you know what I mean? 21. That's
Give me
tough.
Carolina. You're talking about last chance you, man. I mean, guys are going to get fired. Matt Rule's a horrendous head coach.
That rule's one loss away.
Yeah, we've witnessed this now.
Right.
He's brought in.
He didn't get fired after last week.
I almost want to put it as one of my locks that he gets fired, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think their backs are against the wall. Let's see what they come out and play. They're home. San Fran's got to travel cross country, right? Not easy.
After a Monday night.
After a Monday nighter, give me Carolina covers this.
I'm with you. I like it. I just like the mentality of it. 49ers are absolutely a better team.
Oh yeah.
But you're going West Coast to East Coast, short week.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that heads are rolling. I mean, when you're talking about that, the Carolina Panthers are discussing when Sam Darnold comes off of IR. That's how bad it's getting there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, how many more quarterbacks can you run through before you look at the coach and the offensive play sheet?
Did they draft somebody? Is he out for
Corral. Yeah. Well,
he's out for a year.
If he didn't get hurt, he'd be playing today. He'd be playing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, it's obviously on the quarterback.
Malik.
It's obviously been on Darnold, Bridgewater, Baker. But it comes to a point, man, you rotate a bunch of QBs through here. I got to start looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
Not saying you had a guy, but you did have a guy in Baker Mayfield that's taking his team to the postseason.
And Teddy's won games in this league.
Yeah, you've had serviceable cats, so there's something to be said. And you have weapons. So it's not like you're weaponless. Their defense is supposed to be good. They stink.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're okay. But this is a big for them. So give me Carolina.
I so badly want to put a lock on the 49ers, but the line is too big, and I don't like it. And also, I don't think there's going to be a lot of points scored, so it evens the playing field.
Yeah, right. You can't because we talk about their Monday Night Football, travel and cross country. That's a lot to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and plus, I think the final score is going to be I could see the Panthers choking at the end, which would be perfect Panthers, where they lose by a field goal or something. But I could see the final score being freaking 20-19.
This could set the NFL back 20 years. It could literally be a 9-6 game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It could literally be like a 9-6, 12-9, 12-6, right? That's a cover. But it could be the way whatever. We talked enough about This
yeah,
shit.
I'm gonna take Panthers cover, but Niners win.
3 more games.
Who'd you go with,
Oh,
Ryan?
no, I'm sorry, 4 more games. I'm going 49ers, but I'm not locking it. We have the Cowboys traveling to the Los Angeles Rams. Rams are 5.5-point favorites. The over-under set at 43. Frank, one of my locks. Give me the Cowboys.
Yeah, Frank,
Cowboys
I'm going to go on the other.
Points or Cowboys money line?
They cover. They'll cover.
I can't believe you said this because I'm actually thinking the other way. Give me a lock, Frank, on the Rams.
I'm with you.
I think we're talking about another West Coast travel here, another travel crawl. Well, they're not as far, but they're still traveling. They're good. They're definitely good, but the Rams need this one big time.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
now you're
the
talking
Rams on this
desperation
one.
mode. When you talk desperation mode, you usually get guys' best fights. So
I just got embarrassed again, and then adding on that, just got embarrassed on national TV.
Yep.
Monday night, right? I'm with you, Tommy. I got the Rams and a lock at the 5.5. I just think they're too good of a team to be playing like this, right? They're too talented on both sides of the football to look like Matt Stafford's way too talented with that offense to look like he's worse than Jared Goff right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's hurt a little bit. It feels like
Shoulder.
Like that stuff in the offseason was true, maybe that he was banged up a little bit. But listen, they haven't been good enough. And in reality, do we think the Cowboys are a 4-1 team and the Rams are a 2-3 team? No. And you can start looking at it like that as the season goes on. Not saying it always works out that way, but I think Dallas loses the game. So if I think Dallas is already going to lose the game, I might as well. And I'm in need for a lock. Rams it up. I think they fucking roll them. Cooper Rush comes down to earth, and Dak's back next week versus us.
3 biggest reasons why I'm going Cowboys here. 1, the Rams can't wait to turn over the football, and that plays right into obviously the Cowboys' hands. 2, Micah Parsons and that defense going up against a banged up Rams offensive line. And 3, and most importantly, I'm behind and I need to make up ground, so I'm going to go the opposite of you two.
No. Listen, valid points.
Yeah,
valid points.
I'm going to take the Rams on this one. Rams get the win.
And the chat, I have not seen one Cowboys pick, so they agree with all of you guys. Next game, we have the Eagles. We talked about this game, but seeing if there's any locks. The Eagles traveling to Arizona. Eagles 5.5-point favorites. Over under set at 49.
Yeah, I mean, what was I? 31-27. So not a cover. Eagles win this football game. I just don't think they cover. I think it's close.
Do you have any other locks involved with it? The game?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I made 3 and I got another one coming.
Uh,
I don't think the Cardinals will cover. I have us winning by 10, but I'm not throwing any locks in here.
No locks. No locks, but I do have the Eagles win.
At first, as I mentioned in my early on, I thought it was going to be a close game, but then when I picked the score, I had it over, or I had it covering. So we're going to go Eagles minus the points.
We have the Cincinnati Bengals traveling to the Ravens. Ravens 3-point favorites, and the over/under is set at 48.5.
Yeah, Ravens defense is garbage. It's Sunday night at home though, so we'll see if they play a little better. I think the Ravens in their 2 losses, they trailed for like a total of like 14 seconds. So they're right in football games. You guys know how I feel about the Bengals a little bit. I think they're starting to hit a little bit of a stride though. They're playing better football. The hangover seems to be affecting the Rams a little bit more, even though the record's the same. But give me the Ravens. I think Lamar's just that good.
I'm going to take the over on this game as my lock at 48.5.
Oh, sorry, Frank. Give me also a lock, Ravens money line. I don't even want to mess with the 3 points. I'll just money line this bet for a lock. Because you're just begging for a win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the Ravens. Give me the Ravens. No lock.
I'm going to take the Ravens. Minus is 3, but like Frank, I will also I will go with the overs as a lock.
Well, that's going to be a loss.
You know it's bad when Frank's giving it to you.
Yeah.
You know, Greg.
Yeah, 300 over there.
All right, last one.
The Raiders traveling to Kansas City. Kansas City 7-point favorites. The over/under set at a whopping 51.
Yeah, I feel like the Raiders always play there tough, though. But maybe they don't. That could just be something I'm just totally wrong with. They're in desperation mode, right? You're 1-3. You're starting to get in desperation mode. You're on the road against your rival. Kansas City coming off a game where they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything wrong. That tends to lead me to think the Raiders cover this. So I'll take the Raiders minus the 7, and I'll also lock minus 7. I do think the Chiefs win, but I could see the Raiders hanging in this football game.
So you're taking the
Raiders.
Raiders plus 7.
Okay.
Yeah, did I say minus?
You did.
Yeah, that threw me off. I'm like, what? How's that?
Thanks, Frank. My whole fucking week and a half's been thrown off. All right, so welcome to my world. I'm glad you can live it with me for a minute.
No locks for me, Frank. Give me Kansas City.
And no locks for me either. I will take Kansas City.
This could be a bad week for Tommy and I. I agree with him again. Give me the Raiders plus a 7. The Raiders finally got off the schneid this week and felt like, got to feel what a win feels like. I'm not going to say they're going to win, but you always coming off a win's always better than coming off a loss. So give me them to cover.
So
Raiders
that's your
plus
last
7.
lock?
I don't have a lock. No.
No lock. Okay.
No.
All right. Are you ready? Are you ready for your? I'm anticipating your big parlay.
Yeah. I got 2 additional locks.
2?
Yeah, 1. So I'm gonna have like 6 this week.
All right.
I'm gonna go Diggs 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
And then my TD parlay. I've been close. I've been really close.
You have been close.
I've missed 1 on the last 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just because the St. Brown wouldn't have been in the last one, so it would have been a 3-er. Anyway.
Oh my fucking Christ! I mean, give it a rest.
No. I'm just saying in the parlay, like it wouldn't have counted.
Give it a rest.
Even if you put it in, it wouldn't have counted, right?
Yeah, give it a rest. Give it a rest.
I mean, if I would have gotten a mulligan, anyway. No. Give me Saquon. Obviously Diggs, because if I haven't given scoring 2, he's going to go in the parlay. Cooper Kupp, and then the one that's going to get drive the money up. Give me Romeo Doubs in London, getting an anytime TD. So those 4: Saquon, Diggs, Dobbs, and Kupp.
All right.
That concludes our
Yes.
week.
Yep, very, very much fire. So, listen, guys, like I said earlier on, everybody out there, make sure you guys enjoy this weekend, right? Enjoy some postseason baseball. Like we asked for with the Eagles when they won it all. Just give us another week,
Yeah, exactly.
right? And we'll go from there. So give us,
that worked out well for us.
It goes to 7 after this, right? Is it?
Why do I think it goes 5?
Is it 5 and then 7?
Yeah, I think they really did a gimmicky. I
5
feel
and
like it goes
7,
3, 5, 7.
3, 5. Yep.
Hate that.
I despise that.
But sometimes the team is not as good can steal a 5er. Sometimes the team not as good can steal a 3er. I mean, listen, let's start with the Cardinals. They're a tough test.
5,
and especially on the road.
Real
3,
quick.
5, 7.
Real quick, while because the next time everybody on here is on the next show, the playoffs already start. Who do you think the 2 teams will be in the World Series? Like, I'll go Astros Braves.
Phillies, Astros.
Let me look at the playoff bracket real quick.
Padres play the Mets. We play the Cardinals.
That Seattle Toronto series is going to be fun to watch.
I like both teams. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to go.
Heck, even Cleveland, Tampa Bay is going to be fun to watch. They're two good teams too.
Yeah, give me. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Astros are great. It's an easy pick. Since you guys all want Astros, I'm just not going to go there. Give me Cleveland. Give me Cleveland in a surprise. I mean, we can't look down on it. They also are a 92-win team too, so they're pretty good. Pretty good. You're always looking for that sleeper. They could be a sleeper.
Quiet 92.
I didn't realize. I didn't even know that.
92 wins.
I didn't know that.
Dude, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who does a great job every year. You can look no further than Terry Francona.
Yep.
You know, a tremendous job year in, year out. They got the pitching. They definitely have the arms to be able to hang and do some things. I could see them
Tristan
coming.
McKenzie, Shane Bieber. I mean, those guys are electric.
No, I think they see the Dodgers, right? As much as the Braves are cute.
I feel like the Dodgers are going to represent the NL. I'm going to go Dodgers. I'm like sensing a Dodgers-Yankees series. I don't know why.
Blah.
I know. It's yeah.
That's a hate the face series, that one. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't
I
like it.
Watch.
Yeah, I don't like it, but I just have a bad feeling it's going to end up being that.
I do think I'm going on a limb on this, and this all depends on, like I talked about earlier. This all depends on your stars, baby. But if our stars get hot, I can see us going on NLCS and coming to an end because the Dodgers are that much better than us.
Yeah,
so
I mean they are.
Yeah.
But we did play well this year there.
We did.
So you do have that going for you. I think we make a little noise, boys. I do. And I'm putting a lot of pressure on my guys to do it. The 4 guys we mentioned. The other guys need to step up too, but those 4 guys got to hit. Does Bryce Harper hit? Does Bryce Harper get hot? As Willie says, can we get hot as a pistol one time?
Yo, white hot.
Yeah, dude, just be on like we can't pitch you anymore.
Right before he got hit.
Right? And it's been enough time now where he should be getting himself into a little bit of a groove.
He did hit that single in the 9th the other night.
I just want to get to a point.
Did square ball up after Stubbsy broke it up.
Yeah, true.
I just want to get to the point where we get a chance to see the rally towels in Philly. That's all.
I would love to get a home game. Yep.
And I get it. Like,
and that 5-game series is a 2-2-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, John Middleton deserves a home game. And I've been critical of John Middleton a lot, and you guys know I have. But I'll give credit when you get over a hump, right? And he spent the money to get over the hump, and they did it in a weird, unorthodox way. And that says something. Like, to be able to get in and play your best baseball when your best player is gone for a significant amount of time. And not only that, you didn't have your second baseman, right? You didn't have things, man. And to be able to find ways to win those games during that stretch. I mean, we did a show on Wednesday night, and I said, I think they make the playoffs. I think they play their best baseball. And I was just going out on a limb because sometimes guys focus more, right? When no Harp, no Segura, whatever, back end of your bullpen's banged up. A lot of things go wrong. Well, those types of teams are battle tested then. I think you can get more out of teams like that in the postseason because they were able to fight, scratch, and claw their way in.
Yeah.
And we weren't good in September, but we were good enough when we had to be. And, I don't love that we lost 5 games in a row too many times, but that's also baseball. But you can't tell me that if you thought Harper was going to miss 2 months, you thought Segura was going to miss 2 months, you thought the back end of your bullpen guys were going to be missing, right? You're going to miss Wheeler for a little bit of time. You can't tell me that you think that team's a postseason team, right? Would anybody in there think that?
That's a lot to overcome.
It is. So credit to John Middleton, even though his money that he spent didn't pay off for him, but his assets did. Mm-hmm. Bryson Stott did. There was pieces that stood out. Alec Boehm did. Yep. They're homegrown talent guys. They were a big part of this.
Get them a taste.
Well, at the end of the day, without the homegrown talent this year, you're not in the playoffs.
No, right? You're not even close. And how much should we beg for it?
Oh, yeah, of course. And that's been the difference maker. Like, that's the funny thing. As much as we talk about, hey, they finally spent money, they went over the luxury tax, you could argue the reason why they finally got over the hump this year wasn't because of Schwarber or definitely wasn't because of Castellanos or Harper, especially in September. It's because you finally had some guys that were young, homegrown talent not turn into a Kingery.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? You had Sir Anthony, he was really like part A of this resurgence for the second half because you found stability once they got out of their own way to put him as the closer. Has he been the same since the injury? No, but I think that's mostly because he's injured. But there's guys that have stepped up out of nowhere. I mean, Nick Maton has had a couple games. Now, is he an everyday second baseman? No. Is he and he's definitely not an everyday outfielder, which we had to play him as for the last 3.5 weeks. But you had guys like that. Oh, Edmundo Sosa, who it seems like half Phillies fans didn't even know we got him at the deadline. He had 2 weeks where he was like, oh my God, this guy? Really?
Yeah.
So many different things. It was for 4 or 5 years when you were trying to compete, quote unquote, you had your young homegrown talent end up being guys like Moniak and Kingery. Bohm is an MLB player. Stott has had moments where he's been really good. At least defensively, he's been good when his bats been struggling.
Well, when did you make your run? You made your run, and this goes back to playing your young guys. You made your run when you said bye to Didi.
Yep.
You ate the money, and you said, here's the keys, kid. And in his defense, he's had his ups and downs, but he's been really good defensively. And he's had some big hits. So he's had some big moments.
And you know how well he's hit to raise his batting average from 180 to 220 or 225 where he's at now in that short of a span, right? You know what I mean?
Big,
you got to go on a run.
You find out who guys are, right?
And you look at Brandon Marsh, right? You look at Brandon Marsh hitting over 300 since he's been here. Yep. You know what I mean? You look at his season average and he's only 230, 240. But since the trade, he's been over 300 for us.
Yeah,
so he's making adjustments and he's hitting the ball harder and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, you're right. It's been a litany of guys, but going forward, we need that core. We need our core 4 or 5 guys, at least 3 of the 5 to be hot.
Mm-hmm. And Sweeps, so I hear you with, hey, there's an additional playoff spot, so it helps, of course. But I'm more so talking about in the middle of the summer, if you don't go on that run because of your young players, a 5th wild card spot isn't in the cards. Like you were 7 games under 500 at one point? You know what I'm saying? Like we were a 3rd wild card spot, 5th wild card spot. It doesn't matter. So it's like because of what you did, June, July, August, it put you in the position to even be able to fight for that. Does it help that you have an additional one? Sure. I won't disagree with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure it helps. What they overcame makes it feel good.
Yeah.
And now you're healthy. So to me, we're back to, hey, you got over a hump, but there's no excuses. You're a big time fucking payroll. And there ain't no excuses. It's not like you're the youngest team in baseball and it's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, no. You're supposed to be here. So now go show people you're supposed to be here. Mm-hmm. All right, boys. You got anything else before we get out of here?
No.
Good. Got nothing.
All right. Well, it's been fun. We thank Chrome sort of for joining us.
Nah, not that
Ralphie, I guess, more issues with the PC. For Frank Vespi, Greg Moakovic, that's Ryan Brodo. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, we appreciate you. We love you. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's get to 5-0. And every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by FanUp. And FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports. Daily NFL contests and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use our promo code A2D, and you get $50. And you can download FanUp right on the Apple Store. I'm telling you guys, you're going to love it. We love you guys for joining us. Thanks for all the comments. Make sure if you haven't, on your way out, hit the like and subscribe. Tell a friend and tell a couple friends. Spread the word, baby. Spread the word. Let's go. Big weekend for Philly sports. Everybody out there, freaking soak it in. Let's go. By Sunday, let's at least be playing minimum in a game 3. All right. And some Eagles football. How about 2 Cardinals wins on Sunday? Let's go.
Let's get it.
One last thing, Tom. Let's go Union. All right? Let's go Union.
And that is the most attention soccer has ever gotten.
There you go. There's your attention.
There's your attention. How does it feel to be noticed by more than 20 people?
I'll say this for my crumb of the week on Sunday on Agree or Disagree, but I don't begrudge anybody who likes soccer. Just stop shoving it down my goddamn throat. Like, I don't have to like what you like. And don't tell me that the Union is comparable to what the Flyers were in the 60s and 70s. Like, it's coming up to that. Are you okay? Are you fucking insane? Do you understand the cult following that had? Oh my!
Sounds like that person has a concussion, Tom.
Yeah, it's just the people that want to shove it down my throat. I appreciate everybody that watches soccer. I'm glad you like it. I'll never tell you not to like it. Just because I don't like something doesn't mean anything. And the fact that people say, well, listen, we'll save it for Sunday. I can't do this to myself right now. Can't get upset. I had a calm show here. Love you, boys. Love everybody out there. We out of here. 5-0 talk.